for some reason, the microphone, like, disconnected during our breakdown, which I have no idea what that was about. And there was a few other little issues. You might remember earlier in the stream we had an issue as well. So just trying to really get battling with some technical problems that we've got at the moment. Hopefully it's going to be okay. I just tried to disconnect like an external hard drive that I've got, because normally if something's going to glitch, it's probably going to be that. And as soon as I unplugged it, loads of graphics went missing. Turns out a lot of these graphics are all saved on that hard drive. So that's kind of what I was just doing. I was like, oh my God. Isn't it funny, like when you've got one problem, you try and fix it, and then like two others get created, and then you try to fix those, and like another two get created. And I feel like the past, I don't know, 6 hours or so, I've just been trying to solve problems like whack-a-mole, trying to sort problems out. So I don't know where we are, to be honest. I've pulled out cables, I've used ChatGPT, I've done loads of different bits and bobs. I have no idea what happened during the breakdown. Obviously, when I came to watch it back, I saw that the sound just in the middle of it cut out. It was glitching earlier, wasn't it? And then it just cut out. So I'm hoping it doesn't do that again. I'm hoping it was just, you know, either fixed or a one-off. But I don't know. I'll try and keep an eye in the chat, and you lot will have to let me know if it is glitching again or if there is any issues. But you're not here to listen to me moan about technical problems. You are here for AAA, and it should be a really good AAA show. If we actually go over to X, we can have a look at what we've got on the preview. So, announced for tonight's AAA, Verano De Escandalo. Week 1. We've got El Grande and Dominik teaming together. They're going to be taking on Daga and another member of that group, that new group. Don't know as to who that's going to be. It could be any member. I don't expect it to be Carmen, but I mean, it could be... wow, who's in that group? Could be Angel, could be Berto, could be the dude from OTM. I think it's Bronco, isn't it? Bronco Nima. I would probably think Bronco. I don't think it would make much sense to go with Angel or Berto because they're a tag team. So I'm thinking he probably goes Bronco, Nima. Although I don't really understand why it's being kept a mystery. It's not that exciting of a mystery unless he's got like a new member join him. So we'll have to see what happens there. But El Grande and Dominik taking on Daga, and we don't know the partner. We just know it's another member of this group. Is it going to be a new member? Then we've got Lola Vice and Mr. Iguana taking on La Hiedra and Laredo Kid. That is going to be the AAA Mixed Tag Team Championship. So we got that coming up as well. And then we also have an announcement from Rey Mysterio. Don't know as to what that's about, but apparently we've got an announcement from Rey Mysterio. There was word that came out as well about an injury to Dragon Lee. Don't know if you've heard about this, but there was meant to be a third match that was going to go down tonight. I don't know if that match has been cancelled or if it's been moved, but it was originally going to be Dragon Lee against Mecha Wolf against Parka in a triple threat. Dragon Lee has come out online and said that he is not able to compete. He tore a tendon, right? He's tore a tendon. And you might think, oh my God, what, in the leg and in his thumb? How random is that? He's tore a tendon in his thumb. So he is not able to compete. I don't know as to when he'll be back. I don't know if they're just moving this match or what's going on, but the official breakdown for tonight is those two matches and then an announcement from Rey Mysterio. So that's where we are. As we said, only going to be on for about an hour. This is basically a normal AAA show, but they've spruced it up. They're making it a little bit more interesting than just a normal week. This is the start of like a 3-week special. So, as we said, we're going to be seeing Dominik, we're going to be seeing El Grande, we're going to be seeing Lola Vice, we've got Mr. Iguana, we've got an announcement from Rey Mysterio. So, I mean, there's quite a bit there to kind of get your teeth into and look forward to. So, not bad, but yeah, not loads of stuff either, unfortunately. I've got it here. Dragon Lee revealed on his IG stories that he suffered a torn ligament in his thumb on Raw this week and won't be able to compete on the AAA show tonight. Ryan, shout out to you, said, Daze, thanks for all the live streams that you do. Ryan, thank you for joining us, but I really do appreciate it. And yeah, I mean, we're nothing without the community. So yeah, it's brilliant that, like, you know, there is a demand, there is an appetite for more streams, and I'm more than happy to do them. So we always like to do some on a Saturday night, and it's nice that it is wrestling related. It's nice that it's something a little bit special as well, and not just like a regular episode of AAA. So yeah, all good. Obviously, we know the big one is next weekend, though. That is going to be SummerSlam. So very much looking forward to that and getting our teeth into that. So, yeah, should be good. SummerSlam next weekend. Feels like the card is there or thereabouts. We chucked on, I think, another 3 matches yesterday. You might not have seen or heard, but Baron Corbin and Trick Williams got into it after SmackDown. Their match is official. So it is going to be Trick Williams against Baron Corbin going down at SummerSlam. So we've got that lined up. And that's been added. We know about Fatal Influence against Bellas and Paige. That's been added as well. I feel like, you know, obviously we had the contract signing with Gunther and Nick Aldis. That technically got added last week, though. But we also found out, of course, about Sammy taking on Finn Balor, that being a #1 contenders match. So that getting added as well. So lots of movement with the SummerSlam card. I feel like it's there or thereabouts. We are going to do a SummerSlam watch-along tomorrow, 2009. It's being shown on Vault, WWE Vault. So we're going to do that. I'm going to try and get my predictions video up. I've still got a bit of firefighting to do. I mean, I've been ripping cables out and I've been looking into things. So I think I've got hours and hours and hours of work still ahead. And as a result, this just looks like a bomb site. I mean, I've just got stuff everywhere, cables and just, I don't know, just things like this, you know, like random stands for different things. Like that's a laptop stand and that's like a phone stand. I mean, I've got a knife. I don't even know where the knife has come from, but I've got a knife. Got flipping pens everywhere, clips. Do you know what I mean? There's just stuff everywhere. So I need to get all this sorted as well. So crazy. I hope you're having a better day than I'm having out there. What's up with Carmelo Hayes? The dude has been putting in some solid work. Just why can't he get on TV or get at SummerSlam, says Guitar Crow. Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, I suppose the thing is that in WWE, they tend to book in like 3-month chunks. I mean, what you would do is you would have a look at the build to WrestleMania. Once WrestleMania is done, you start your build to SummerSlam. Once SummerSlam is done, you start your build to Survivor Series. When Survivor Series is done, you start working your way towards Royal Rumble. Once Royal Rumble is done, you go back round to working towards WrestleMania. Obviously, in between that, you've got your PLEs, you've got your Saturday night's main events. So really, it's going to start with that big question of who are we getting behind coming out of WrestleMania, going in towards SummerSlam. Who are we going to get behind? What are we pushing? Who are we pushing? Who do we want to put the focus on? And for some reason, that answer has not come up Carmelo Hayes between WrestleMania and SummerSlam. Obviously, he dropped that title just before WrestleMania. That obviously caused a lot of upset in regards to Sammy and Sammy getting the belt. People feeling like Carmelo should have took that belt into WrestleMania. I agree. I think he was fantastic on the show. I think at times he was the best thing on the show on SmackDown earlier this year. But for whatever reason, and I don't know the answer, WWE, I mean, what I would say is, who's more marketable? Is Carmelo more marketable or is Trick Williams more marketable? I bet the feeling right now is Trick Williams with Whoop That Trick and the loud entrance. I bet they feel like he's more marketable. So they've been doing Trick and Sammy. Carmelo's been around. He's kind of been, you know, involved. But yeah, I mean, it is true. It has been sort of pushed to the sidelines. And listen, I can only try and look at what we've been given and try and figure out why they've gone that direction. I think he deserves better. I mean, that's the headline. I'm in agreement. I think he definitely should be involved in this United States Championship match at SummerSlam. But it just seems that for whatever reason, they just wanted to focus on Trick, build Trick, invest in Trick, have Trick continue his story with Sammy. And it just seems like they didn't really have anything for Carmelo between WrestleMania and SummerSlam. So my hope is that once we come out of SummerSlam and we start building towards Survivor Series, that they will actually have ideas for him and have him in the plans. I can sort of forgive them not using him at SummerSlam. I can, like, it's not the end of the world. Bayley has missed shows. I mean, everyone misses shows, gets left off shows throughout their career. It's still very early for Carmelo, all things considered. I don't think he's, you know, quite delivering the numbers that he will go on to deliver in the future. So at the moment, he's kind of, you know, he's at a good place. They need to continue investing in him. I agree he should be on the SummerSlam cards. I don't think it's a massive deal. I think that it's just unfortunate, you know. I don't really know why we don't put him in the triple threat. Equally, I don't know why we didn't put him in the triple threat at WrestleMania. Because I feel like you could do that and he could still be featured. So only Triple H will know that. But for some reason, there are other options that they would like to promote, other performers they would like to get behind. And Carmelo just finds himself missing out. But we've kind of said before, this is always going to happen. You're always going to have more wrestlers than TV time. And so you're always going to have some favorites sitting on the sidelines. I mean, look at what Johnny achieved in NXT and look at how he's being used now. Look at Jordan Grace and how great she was in TNA, how much hype there was for her. And now, I don't know what's going on with Jordan Grace, right? It's all gone very quiet in that regard. So, yeah, and you never know what's going on behind the scenes as well. There could be some things happening that we just don't know about. So I agree. I agree with you. I do think Carmelo is a talking point. I've seen a few people saying that they're very frustrated about his booking. I can't say they're wrong. I just think at this stage, it's not making me angry at the moment, right? Maybe if it continues, I'll start to get frustrated. But yeah, for whatever reason, someone's made the decision between WrestleMania and SummerSlam that Carmelo's not the direction to go. The only person that can answer why is Triple H. Purple Dire Witch. Is that you, Dire Witch? Shout out to you, my friend. Spooky Stoner. We've got a lot of very spooky Dire Witch kind of. Is it Halloween? Names coming up. We got Nick Morgan. That's the scariest out of all of them, actually. Nick Morgan, shout out to you as well, my friends. Welcome, welcome. Ramona said, how you doing? I'm doing all right, thank you. You are the best. Keep up the good work. Thank you, my friends. I appreciate the kind words. Hope you've had a good day. Corey said it was a delightful surprise to find that this stream was happening. I didn't know that it was planned. Okay, yeah, cool. Well, we always try to be here on a Saturday. And as we said, if there's no like boxing, big boxer, I know that Joshua just fought, but it was against a pretty low-level opponent. And by the looks of it, it looks like he struggled as well. But, you know, in regards to that, it didn't feel like it was big enough. UFC is always an option. I do love UFC, but yeah, what would this be in AAA and the start of like a 3-week special? It kind of struck me that this was probably the right place to be. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I kind of like AAA as well because you know it's going to be good. It's always entertaining. And it's only an hour long. So, do you know what I mean? I've got lots to do. So it's great that we're not here for like hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. If we did UFC, this could be like a 7-hour stream. But all in all, it should be about 3.5, something like that. Couple of hours before. Then we've got the show. We might stick around 20-odd minutes after. So, yeah, good. And, of course, as we said, we are back tomorrow. I'm looking forward to next weekend, said Dean. Same here, but I don't quite get the negativity for SummerSlam, but well, let's dig into this because Bryn said it's not. Is it just me or is it not as exciting for SummerSlam as it was last year? The matches feel predictable, in my opinion. Some feel a bit thrown together. For example, Finn versus Sammy. Well, I think the way that you would book a card is you would start at the top and work your way down. So what you would do is you'd go, right, what's the big match that I'm most excited by, or what do I most want to see? And, you know, they may have said Gunther Ober, but for whatever reason, decided it's a bit too soon to do that, right? Or it could be that they want to do Gunther Ober, the Roman Ober, but they've decided that actually Ober's well into this story with Brock. It makes more sense to just have him kind of wrap it up at SummerSlam, and so we're going to prioritize Brock Ober over Roman Ober. We don't know the real reason, as to why we're not getting Roman Ober. That to me feels like the big match that they should do. Right? I'm not saying now. I'm just saying it's the match that needs to be done. I would say, you know, WrestleMania by the latest, unless they're doing Rock Roman, and then, you know, we can go to next year's SummerSlam. But by the end of next year, by SummerSlam next year, 12 months, within the next 12 months, we should have done Roman Ober, right? I can think of only a very few reasons as to why we wouldn't, right? Injury, or The Rock does a rematch at SummerSlam. Maybe we do Rock Roman 1 at WrestleMania, Rock Roman 2 at SummerSlam. I mean, okay, I understand it then. But outside of that, I think that Ober Roman is the match. Well, we're not doing it. So the reason why we're not doing it, not sure, but it could be that they've prioritized Ober Brock instead for this event. That's okay. So what do we do with Roman? Well, what we do with Roman is we'll dig into his history, right? We don't really have a superstar that's kind of ready to challenge him right now. Could have gone maybe Gunther. I think that's an option, but at some point someone's got to make a decision, haven't they? What's going to be the bigger match? What's going to get more attention? Is it Roman Gunther, or is it Roman Seth? And I think the answer they've come up with is that Roman Seth is globally going to get more interest than Roman Gunther. And you can make the argument, yeah, but you can't always look at it that way. You can't always just go for the match that's going to get the most attention. Otherwise, you'll never bring new people in. And I do agree with that. But I think this is where we look back and say, yeah, but things haven't been brilliant in WWE. We know the numbers are declining. We know that the hot period has ended. You look online and all you're seeing is people complaining. So, you know, we've got to do something. And if that means that we have to just lean on the tried and tested, then let's do that. So I'm not really down on Roman Seth, and I'm not down on Brock Ober. I sort of feel like within what we've just said is likely the truth as to why we've ended up with those matches. Same for CM Punk versus Cody. It's a match that we've not had. Don't believe we've had it since both returned. And I think they're trying to get, like, you know, the biggest matches possible to make SummerSlam the biggest event possible. I think any opponent for Punk would feel predictable because I don't think Punk loses. And I think that Punk is likely retaining at SummerSlam as a result of only just recently winning. I mean, he came back, didn't he, on that Raw in Chicago, won the championship from a Sami Zayn who only had a short run anyway. I don't think they're about to give CM Punk a short run. So I can see Punk winning. But to be honest, even if he was taking on Gunther or someone like that, I would feel like CM Punk would be victorious. So I'm not really down on it. I'm looking at that match more like it's two big names. I'm watching the build. I enjoyed the segment yesterday. Is it the match that I would book? Maybe not, because I don't like face versus face, to be honest with you. Because I think you're forcing the audience to choose, and I think it waters it down as a result. But it's still a big match. It's going to feel like a big match. And it's okay. I'll take it. It's two big names going up against each other, trying to make the biggest, WrestleMania possible. So, I mean, if you look at our big 3 matches, 2 of them are going to main event, right? 2 of these 3. You've got CM Punk, Cody, Roman, Seth. It's the same kind of names that you would expect. Brock and, Oba. I mean, Oba is the breakout star of 2026. And, the sky's the limit for him, and he's in the mix. So all of that is okay to me. Then we look at the mid-card. So in regards to the mid-card, Penta, Chad, again, a bit unfortunate that it's not going to be Chad taking on a heel. It's another babyface, which I don't think is ideal. But, well, it is what it is. Are we going to get a new champ? I would think so. So I would imagine so. But again, Chad taking on anyone, I think that would be the case. He's coming out of mask versus mask. So who can he go up against where it feels like he ain't going to win? And should he not win? I don't know. I feel like we've screwed him around so much. He should win. So I feel like he's going to win. But I think I'd feel that way if he was going up against pretty much anyone, to be honest. On the other side, Trick against Baron Corbin, I don't really hate that because I think Trick's babyface. I mean, the crowd treat him like babyface. And he's even said on Unreal, I'm not really a babyface, I'm not a heel, you can't really put me in a box. Well, he's taken on Baron Corbin, who's definitely a heel and definitely can be put in a box. So he's taking him on. I don't hate that. I think the dynamic of that is better. So, yeah, Trick should win. But I'm hoping it's going to be a good match. And it'll be interesting to see if they can deliver a good match, because I would say both of them are a bit limited when it comes to the in-ring. And, Baron Corbin hasn't been around for a while. So I'm interested because I don't know what I'm going to get out of it. Fatal Influence against Paige, Brie, Nikki. It doesn't really matter who wins. I think I'd be tempted to go with the new school, the Fatal Influence girls, because I don't know. If you want a feel-good moment, you can go with the Legends. But I don't know. I think you could have it whereby Brie or Nikki has to choose, does she help her friend and take the bullet, or is she going to abandon her sisters? And of course she helps and ends up getting kneed in the face and put away. And so even though they lose, you make it about their friendship or something, and it's a nice thing, right? So Fatal Influence get the win. They can gloat about it. And, the girls can be like, even though we lost, we're closer than ever. That was a real moment, a real test of our friendship. And, Paige or Brie, whatever, sacrificing themselves, that's worth more than a win to us. Blah, blah, blah. I'd probably go that way. And then what else have we got? Sammy and Finn. Oh, I think that'll be a banger, to be honest. I think it'll be a banger. I think Finn wins because I think that Sammy's crash out is going to continue. But again, I think against anyone, it's probably going to feel that way. I don't know, man. I'm going down the card and it's all right. I feel fine about it. I think that, is it the most exciting card in the world? No, I think you could make it more exciting. But I think actually it would be debatable as to whether if you change the card, it would be better or not. Because I do think people are looking for different things. I'm looking for a solid, fun show because I've watched a lot of mid shows from WWE. So I'm looking for something that's going to deliver. I'm looking for something that's going to give me great matches. I'm looking for great performances. I'm okay with sort of knowing where the results are going to go because I feel like a lot of the time you go into shows knowing where the result's going to go. I mean, we always sort of do predictions for big PLEs. Normally the favorites win the Rumble. Normally you can sort of figure out who's getting the wins at WrestleMania. I feel like that's very true here as well, but it's not taking away my anticipation for the event. I mean, I think Roman Seth is a good match. It's a match that I want to see. I think the Hell in a Cell for Brock and Ober is a good stipulation. Gunther, Nick Aldis, I think that's definitely got people talking. I think people are definitely interested in that. Obviously, no Rhea, so we're doing a ladder match. I haven't even begun to think about who's going to win that, to be honest. So I don't hate that. I don't hate this card. I really don't. Could it be better? Sure. I think cards can probably always be better, but I think we're probably all looking for something a bit different. I feel like when things are good, you just enjoy it. And you're like, oh man, this is so good. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed this, blah, 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 blah. But when things are bad, and we all know they're bad, I think people all have slightly different ideas as to how we could make it better. And I think we all start to divide a little bit then. When it's good, we're united because we all agree it's good. When it's bad, we're a bit more divided because we've all got our own ideas as to how we would fix it. I think I'm excited for next weekend. Let's see how it goes. We get oil from whale oil, said William. Thank you, William. Carr said, Daze, they showed off the stars arriving at the arena on X, but no Hiedra or Laredo kid yet. Thank you, Carr. How do we feel about Nick Aldis, Gunther? Love it. Yeah, no, I'm a big fan. I'm excited. I heard that apparently on commentary they made it clear that Nick Aldis is only temporarily leaving the GM position. I didn't hear that. I mean, I was chatting with you guys. I did even go back to see if I could hear it, but to be honest with you, I was uploading like the opinions videos and, you know, doing bits and bobs, making thumbnail. And so I was listening out for it, but then I was doing that, and then, you know, so I could have missed it again. You have to sit here and like really watch and listen and like pay total attention all the time, which I probably should be doing, but it's very hard when, you know, we're having conversations and we're pointing out things, and there's people talking in the chat, pointing out things. There's things coming through on social media. It's hard. So I didn't hear it, and I still haven't heard it. But I've been told by a couple of people that apparently it was Wade Barrett that said that it's just a temporary thing, that he's just stepping away on a temporary basis. So I don't know if that's true, then that would suggest this is one and done at the moment. But no, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's something unique. I think it's something different. I think it's something which you're not going to see. Because I feel like with Seth and Roman and Cody and CM Punk, we see them fighting in various different combinations. I think CM Punk has fought Roman, he's fought Seth, and now he's fighting Cody. I think Cody has fought Roman, Seth, and now he's fighting CM Punk. So, you know, they've all fought each other in high-profile matches. We're just switching the combination around, really. I think if they all fought Brock as well, I think they've all fought Brock. So, I mean, Brock's fought them all as well. So we've done every combination possible when it comes to Cody, Seth, Roman, Brock, CM Punk. They've all fought each other. So, yeah, I think we're just doing a match here that we haven't done, actually, in a while. We had a CM Punk Cody matchup at SummerSlam. So, yeah, I agree. There's probably a lack of freshness. But that's where you do get freshness from Fatal Influence working together. We haven't seen them on a PLE before. Obviously, they came up, I think it was after WrestleMania. And Nick Aldis wrestling is really fresh. This is his debut match. He's never competed before, to my knowledge, in WWE. So that's fresh. So not down on that. So I'm sure Sammy and Finn have probably faced off, but can't really recall it. I can't recall them two competing against each other on the main roster. It must have happened. But I can't, off the top of my head, recall it. So not down on it. I think that, you know, it shows actually that they're really behind Finn and that they're really pushing him. And he's right up there now where he could be the number one contender. And actually, I think he will be. I think he will be number one contender. Because I think Sammy loses and continues his crash out. So, yeah, I do like the Nick Aldis thing, definitely. Matteo said, Daze, have we seen that WWE also announced Julia Lash is going to be the last interim match? And also Trick Baron for the US title at SummerSlam. Yeah, I saw the Trick Baron one. I saw that. Julia Lash, yes. I saw Julia. I thought it was a triple threat, actually. I thought, because I saw a video that had Nia in it as well. So, fine. So, Julia or Lash, one of them is going to get added to that women's match at SummerSlam. Brian said, I don't hate the cards. I'm just not feeling the hype. The matches are going to be great, but I'm just not pumped for it. Well, I think that is because we've been let down so much. I think that when you get excited for a Royal Rumble and it underwhelms, and you get excited for what's in the crate and it underwhelms, and you get excited for who's the mystery man attacking, and it just turns out to be the one person we all thought it was, which was Seth. I'm not going to say that underwhelmed, but, you know, it went on for flipping ages. Like with that, and it turned out to be Seth. The phone call, I mean, Jesus Christ, who's on the phone? And it turns out to be Pat, you know? That underwhelms. Then you've got like night one. I mean, I think it was Aaron, who's in our community, who was at WrestleMania, and he even dropped me a message going, well, you know, that was night one, and he was there. So, I mean, when you've got people that have even been in attendance sort of going, well, that could have been better. You know, we were feeling that here. But for people to actually be there feeling it as well. And I did see this. I mean, I saw some interviews with fans coming out of the stadium, and they were saying that it was fine, hoping that night two will be better. So, you know, I mean, WrestleMania, I'm not going to say it underwhelmed, but there was debates about, was it worse than 41? Was it better? I think it's better. But I think that it's night one definitely struggled. Night two, I think, did much better. You've got this catalogue now. You know, you've got this catalogue of who is. Do you remember when Danhausen had a mystery partner, and there was loads of and it turned out to be Minihausen? It's just little things like that, which, you know, you keep teasing things and building things and hyping things. And if it consistently underwhelms and it consistently disappoints, how do you expect people to get excited when it's, you know, you're trying to hype something else up? I mean, you're trying to hype up SummerSlam now. You're trying to tell us this is going to be amazing, but you've done this several times before. And some of those shows have not been amazing. And I think it's just that. If Rumble had killed it, WrestleMania had killed it, some reveals had been amazing, I think going into SummerSlam now and we're building towards another big show, I think you'd have more optimism that this show is going to deliver and that it's going to be worth your time. But I think it's totally understandable that there's people out there that are just not feeling the hype. And I got to tell you as well, I think there's so much negativity around online. I think that kills the hype. If you go online and you read about how WWE are taking over this radio station and you should be worried about it, I mean, you shouldn't. But, you know, apparently that's a disaster. And then you read about how they've had to mark the tickets down because no one's going. And it's, you know, it's a disaster and there's panic. I mean, I took the approach of that's great. They've reduced ticket prices. Granted, they might have been forced to, but is it not a good thing that they have? Instead, you got people out there that are taking the angle of this is a disaster. You should be. I'm telling you, you can't be surrounded by that negativity all the time and it not have an effect. It's going to have an effect. So, you know, I'm trying my best to kind of keep positive and focus on the positives. And I'm not doing it for any reason other than I'm just being honest about what I see. But, you know, I am trying to be glass half full. I could easily flip it and be glass half empty. And I think, like, for me, I'm looking at SummerSlam. I'm liking the look of the cards. I think that the shows, Raw and SmackDown, have been in a better place since WrestleMania. I feel like we're in probably one of the best periods we've had in 2026 right now. Genuinely, I think that what we're doing at the moment is about as good. It's still not like mind-blowing or anything, but I feel like I go into Raw with some optimism because Raws have been decent. And I'm starting to go into SmackDown with a bit of optimism. I mean, I think SmackDown beat Raw this week. I think what we had yesterday was better than what we had on Monday. Granted, what we had on Monday was not very good, but Raw has been pretty consistent with delivering some pretty good stuff. So I think we're in an all right place right now. I like the cards. I think that Saturday night's main event was pretty fun. I think we've got every chance that SummerSlam could be one of the stronger offerings. I'm just choosing to not engage with the negativity. I'm just choosing to not engage with a lot of that stuff that I'm kind of seeing thumbnails of, you know, and all this stuff. I mean, to be honest with you, there are people, content creators, that are just looking for the negative aspect. It doesn't even matter if there is a positive. They don't care. They just want the negative because, unfortunately, it's the negative that gets the clicks and the views. It's the negative that's going to drive more interest because a lot of people are feeling disconnected with WWE. So, you know, negativity fuels negativity. If you're feeling a bit down on WWE and someone goes, have you seen this? Yeah, check out what TKO are doing now. You know, you're going to click on it to go, what have they done now? What's this? And it's just, honestly, it's a downward spiral, the downward spiral. I don't think it's reality. I do think there is some good stuff that's happening at the moment. So I'm glass half full rather than glass half empty. Big Time said, the only thing I'm thinking about is ESPN are going to stink the place out. WWE does a lot of short matches. The card looks great on paper, similar to a Mania card, but that got complaints about short matches. Yeah, but there was injuries that resulted in some of that. We heard that some of those short matches were because some of the people were banged up, and so they purposefully kind of kept them short. And then I think Liv and Stephanie was... they needed to make some time back up. So that's been a big controversy as well. That was another controversy. That Liv was thanking Triple H for her having a match at WrestleMania. And people are like, you shouldn't be thanking him because your match got cut. And it's like, mate, we're sat here with Carmelo Hayes not even making the card. We're sat here with Dakota Kai no longer having a job. Karrion Kross no longer having a job. The Wyatt Six no longer having jobs. You know, a lot of criticism for the way that Bayley has been booked. A lot of frustration around the way that Johnny is being booked. Liv Morgan gets herself a singles match, championship singles match at WrestleMania. And, you know, okay, got cut for time, but she was still part of the builds. She was still part of the process. She still got to have her entrance and her moments. She's still got memories that are going to last her a lifetime. I think it was her first singles match at WrestleMania. And so she's had a lot that's come out of that process. She's got in there. She's had a match in front of the biggest crowds probably that she's ever wrestled a singles match in front of. And, okay, it's been cut short. There are so many positives for what Liv has had. You know, the trust of being put in that position. The fact that you got to have that entrance, you got to walk out on that stage. Wrestlers would kill for that. There's many wrestlers that never even make it to that level. And yet she's had all of that, gone down to the ring, had a singles match. The eyes of the wrestling world's on her and Stephanie. And what people want to talk about is the fact she went backstage, thanked Triple H for the opportunity and for believing in her. And people want to like, can't believe you did that. Your match got cut short. You're being disrespected. It's like, you don't get this. You really do not get this. I mean, there's people out there that must think this is so easy. There's people out there that must think that these opportunities just fall in your lap and that this is all so simple. These are the same people, by the way, that moan and complain about the fact that a load of wrestlers are sat in catering, right? I mean, apparently it's easy. Apparently it's easy to get matches at WrestleMania. You shouldn't even be grateful for them anymore. So I don't know what them people in catering are doing. I mean, how can people have their cake and eat it? How does this make any sense whatsoever? How can you complain about the people sat in catering and be told that, you know, listen, getting TV time is tough. There's a lot of competition. And then see a girl being really grateful for being allowed a chance to have a match at WrestleMania, singles match at WrestleMania, having that trust put in her, and then be like, that's a problem as well. And unless everything is perfect in everyone's eyes, you're always going to have that noise. And, you know, I got to tell you, man, I don't think Nick Khan's wrong. I don't think he's wrong. When Nick Khan says that I don't listen to the IWC, you know, it's always moaning and complaining. I agree with him. I agree. And listen, I could be part of the problem because we complain about things, you know? So, I mean, I could be part of the problem. I don't necessarily go online to put out tweets about things that, you know, and I certainly don't do videos where I've got moody face on the thumbnail. I can't believe they've just done this. Like, there's a lot of that going on at the moment. And do you know why? It's because negativity breeds negativity. So, my best advice to you is choose to be glass half full. Yeah, choose to be glass. It's a lot more enjoyable. Yeah, you'll have more fun. It's more enjoyable. Don't get dragged down with all those moody fops, right? That are all kind of sitting around, all doom and gloom, all sad, right? Because they just want something new to complain about. Instead, I'm looking forward to SummerSlam. I think we're in a good place. I'm excited for Nick Aldis to get in the ring. Yeah, we need to bring some stars through. We tried it last year and it failed. I'm feeling good, man. Yeah, I'm feeling good. Daze, the only thing I'm thinking... Oh, we read that one. What time does AAA start? AAA in an hour and 15 minutes. WrestleLandy said, Daze, you should look into Fanatics Fest next year. It's the closest thing to WWE World, and they do also do UFC stuff. It looks good. Yeah, I mean, it looks good. The only thing that's kind of turned me off it is I think it's so big and there's so much stuff there, and I just get the feeling 95% of it is just not going to be for me. So I feel like it's going to be a lot of walking around stuff that I'm just not going to be bothered by because I'm not big on American sports. So I know there's a lot to do with baseball, a lot to do with hockey, a lot to do with basketball, a lot to do with the NFL. And there should be, right? There should be. I'm not saying that it shouldn't. It should. But for me, I feel like the wrestling bit, which is probably the only bit I'd be interested in. Although, I did hear that the Premier League took the Premier League title there. So you could actually pose with the Premier League title. So I think there is a football bit where they had a presence. I don't know if there was any footballers there. There might have been. I'd imagine there probably was. I might get something from that. I don't know. But, yeah, I think it probably would be of interest, and I'd probably get something out of it. But I do think the vast majority of it just would be, you know, having a little look. Just like, oh, well, that's interesting, you know, as I'm trying to get to the wrestling bit. And then, you know, that'd probably be the bit I'd be most interested in. So, I don't know, did they have exhibitions or anything? One of the things about WWE World that I really like is obviously I don't really care about the entrance thing. I don't feel like I would do that. But the exhibitions, looking at the Hall of Fame displays, looking at ring-used stuff and sets. You know, when they had, like, the Firefly Funhouse set up, and they had Heartbreak Hotel set up, and they've had some of these sets out of storage. I mean, there was one once where you could actually get inside the old Elimination Chamber. It was circular, and it had obviously, the old one with the pods in there, and you could have your picture taken as you stood inside Elimination Chamber. I mean, I love photo opportunities. I'm never one to turn down a picture, so I love a good photo opportunity. So, I just need to go to WWE Worlds, because there's so much stuff that I would just be posing in front of. I'd flipping love it. Oh, God. And there is literally nothing on my Instagram, because my old Instagram got took down. But to be honest, I mean, where do you go in the UK to kind of see wrestling stuff? I don't know. You could go to indie shows, but it's not the same as going to WWE World and seeing some exhibitions. So I agree with you. I think I'm sure there is a degree of that. I keep thinking about the WWE experience in Saudi Arabia, but I've never seen anything that's made me want to go. The Undertaker escape room just doesn't look that interesting to me. And I'm sure there probably are like some Hall of Fame exhibitions, but I haven't really seen anything. I have to have a look. I don't know what they've got. I know they've got a load of belts and a ring, but yeah, it's WWE World I want to go to. Word Life Cena fan said part of the reason that Mania didn't do well was the excessiveness of adverts. Hopefully SummerSlam won't suffer the same fate. Thoughts? Well, I don't see how we're going to avoid it, because this is the trade. Do you want to spend $60, $70, $80 per show, or do you want to spend $29.99 a month and get WrestleMania, Rumble, and all that stuff? I mean, that's the trade-off. ESPN have spent $1 billion on WWE PLEs, and part of that deal is they're gonna run adverts during the PLEs to make their money back. And so this is not a WWE choice. This isn't WWE. WWE have got their money. They've been paid. They get the $1 billion. It's ESPN now that have got to try and make their money back. So I don't see how you avoid it. I don't see how you get rid of adverts. The alternative is that WWE didn't accept that $1 billion and they stuck with a pay-per-view model, but they weren't making this much when they were running pay-per-views. Because to be honest, when it comes to a B show, a lot of people were like, I ain't going to spend the money on that. I ain't spending the money on that. I'll look at the highlights, or I'll read the results, or whatever. People would buy, obviously, the WrestleManias and the Rumbles and the SummerSlams, but they wouldn't be buying the B shows. So WWE are getting more money now. It's we had it so good when we had the network. I mean, when we had the network, we spent $9.99 a month, and we got the PLEs. And that still made them more money. They were still making more money when they had that system compared to pay-per-view. Because so many people just didn't buy, the B show pay-per-views. Their big money drivers were the big shows, Rumble, WrestleMania, whatever. But now, getting $1 billion over the next, is it 10 years? I can't remember. I don't know if it's 10 years or 5. But they're getting a big number. And so, yeah, ESPN got to make that money back now. So it's just a different system, isn't it? It's just a different way of getting the shows out to the consumers. You can do that through a network. You can do that through pay-per-view, or you can do it through this model. So frustrating, but I mean, what do you do? What do you do? The only thing that WWE could do would be to have not taken that money and gone, a different direction. But if you don't have adverts, then that means that you're going to have to pay more for the show. So, you kind of end up with a pay-per-view model then, don't you? Unless you pay WWE directly and they've got the network. But, that's long gone, isn't it, unfortunately? Stephen said, morning. Hope we're doing well. Looking forward to this show. I think Ipswich are ready for the Premier League. We've made some great signings. We've got a new collar for our cats. Love your show, Stephen. Shout out to you. Good luck to Ipswich this year. Hope it goes well, bud. Salaria said, it might be your fault, but I don't think it is. It might be the casuals. And also, your face is on the shows sometimes. Well, if ever they use reaction clips, sometimes they've used reaction clips, but, they never tell me if they're using those or not. And, I'm not bothered. They've used them a fair few times, and, I'm always grateful if ever they do use them, but I don't think they're going to really use them anymore, because obviously there's all this controversy, isn't there, around the copyright stuff, which has caused a lot of problems. I mean, I've lost my TikTok account, I've lost my Instagram. I'm not looking for sympathy, right? I always knew from the start that it was a risky business, including the WWE footage that I'm reacting to. But I always tried, whenever I put those reaction clips out, to be talking. I mean, I have to talk anyway because we're streaming. And the reaction clips are just clips taken from the streams. So, I mean, unless I'm having to really pay attention to a promo, I'm pretty much talking quite a bit. So I've never been someone that's tried to just put reaction clips out and just sat there not saying anything and you just watch the video at the bottom. I've always tried to provide commentary, thoughts, analysis, theories, whatever it might be, right? I've always tried to add to the thing. But of course, it's risky. Of course it is, because that's their content. But for years and years, they allowed it. For years and years, they not only didn't have a problem with it, but they would actually, use reactors and their reactions on the show, as you said. So, felt like, a fair trade, whatever. But obviously that changed recently. And so the downside is you don't get any warning. You just all of a sudden get videos start getting taken down, and before you know it, your accounts are gone. And it's like, could you not have given me a heads up? Could you not have said that on this date we're going to start, and then maybe I could have took them down. I could have set them to private or something so that they were hidden, and then I could have kept my account rather than now having to start again, whatever. So yeah, in regards to that, that's that you never got told, you never knew. Obviously there was stupid talk about payments, and there never was. I didn't even know when they were showing a clip, right? They back in the day, I would say before the pandemic, they would drop you an email, because they did feature a reaction of mine, I want to say back in 2017 on SmackDown, and I got an email to say that could they use it. They asked if they could use it. Soon as we were sort of post-pandemic, no, you didn't hear anything then. But again, no complaints. I'm not sat here complaining. I'm just trying to explain the situation, right? I'm just trying to let you know what the truth is, okay? Because you'll probably hear loads of different things, but you've heard it from the horse's mouth. That's my situation. That's my truth, right? In regards to, is it my fault? Well, I don't think it's exclusively my fault, but I think that if ever I am going a bit OTT with negativity, and certainly anything that breaks out of these streams, then I think I'm part of the problem. I mean, look, these streams, we can talk open and honestly, because I don't really use this footage anywhere. Right? I'm not taking anything we say now and putting it anywhere. So it all just lives within this one video. So I don't really feel like anything we say here is going to be too much of a problem, contributing to the negativity, because it's just you, me, whoever's here right now that's seeing it. And if anyone comes back and watches this in the future. But I think it's very different if you're putting out little clips, sharing them all over the place, complaining, moaning, spreading your negativity, right? And again, there's a lot of content creators where they've got moody faces on the thumbnail, and they're kind of moaning and complaining. And so, do I contribute to that? I would say yes, I do at times. So I'm willing to hold my hands up. I don't want to be accused of being a hypocrite, but I don't know, man. The scale of the negativity is quite overwhelming at the moment. It is really bad, and it's so bad that did you hear about JP Morgan? JP Morgan who are obviously like, bank financiers. They did a review of WWE about what the state of it is, and is the stock price fair in comparison to the business. And for the first time, according to Dave Meltzer, they actually said that the criticism for creative is notable. So they actually commented on the criticism around the recent creative. And apparently that's not something that they tend to do. And so even they have kind of picked up and highlighted the frustration and the issues around the creative as being something that you should be aware of if you are thinking of investing in the WWE stock or the TKO stock. So that's, it affects a lot of things. It's very interesting. But there is an awful lot of what feels like complaining just for the sake of complaining, or looking at a situation and just highlighting the negative rather than trying to be a bit more balanced. Because take the WWE radio thing. I think that's good. Do you know what I mean? I think that's good. I don't have no issues with WWE radio. But I've heard people saying they're replacing a wrestling news show, and this is them trying to control the media. And it's like, are you flipping joking me? Are you actually having a laugh? Do you know how many outlets there are about wrestling news? There are so many places to get honest wrestling opinions and news and, big platforms. It's not like WWE have bought Bleacher Report and Sports Illustrated and Wrestle Talk and What Culture and Cultaholic and Jesus, it goes on and on and on and on. There are so many outlets. I don't even know what this one is that they've took over. I don't even think I've ever heard of it. Again, do we celebrate the fact that there's, a WWE radio that's going to be a place that fans can go to listen to podcasts, listen to play-by-play, call-in shows? Do we celebrate that, or shall we moan about something? There's a lot of people out there that choose to just moan. And I think it's because it drives money, honestly. I think it's better for revenue. I think you make more money if you moan and complain. So, yeah, that's me moaning and complaining about so much moaning and complaining that's going on at the moment. Does get so tiresome. I'm all right with it if it's like genuine and I feel like it's coming from a good place. But when it's just endless and it's everything, you do sort of eventually go, this doesn't feel right. This feels to me like people are doing this because it's financially beneficial for them to take this approach, So just be aware of that. Big Migs, hello, said I need your help. Let's go. My friends from work are from England. Oh, Big Migs, I'm so sorry. I don't wish that on anyone, Big Migs. I'm sorry to hear that, but you don't need to explain anymore. You're trying to find a new job, yeah? They're from England, and they're teaching me some words, but they won't tell me what oi tosspot wanker, says Big Migs Gaming. Well, to be honest with you, wanker is the slang term for masturbation, isn't it, in the UK? So tosspot is, to be honest, I mean, I have heard it, but it's not one that I tend to use. I find that a very low-level slur. Oh, you tosspot. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know what it means. I don't even know what that means myself. It's not one that I tend to use. To be honest, I don't use wanker. That's not one that I tend to use either, but you hear it a lot. You hear a lot of builders, that kind of yell it out to people. Like, if there's someone they spot that they know, "Oi, John, you wanker!" Like that, right? And John will look up and go, "All right, Dave," like that. So, yeah, it's kind of, they're all just negative slurs. They're all just, varying degrees of offensive words. But, I don't know. They're not ones that I tend to use, to be honest. Although, as you can tell, I'm actually not that big of a swearer. I've never really been a massive, swearer. So I don't need to get creative with my language. I use the classics, dropping F-bombs and C-words and stuff like that if the situation really needs it. I don't get all, fairy tale, calling people a tosspot. That sounds something that would come out of Beauty and the Beast or something. Oh, Prince Charming, you're such a tosspot. Very Disney. Yeah, anyway, I'm sorry that you're working with English people. I don't wish that on anyone. Hello, Aaron, shout out to you. Said, sometimes I think to myself, should I just turn my mind off and just enjoy the show? Maybe I'd enjoy WWE more. I think I am going to do that. SummerSlam looks fun, and I have been enjoying it recently. Well, I don't know. It's each to their own, isn't it? I mean, I think that there are times where you might want to just watch it on your own and just cut out the noise. And, if you can find more enjoyment doing it that way, 100% do it that way. Yeah. At the end of the day, this is about you enjoying something that you enjoy. So, how are you going to best do that? Is it hanging around with online and with a community, or is it a case that it's actually more enjoyable to just watch it, make your own mind up? Maybe then, when you've watched the show, you might want to check in with a few people just to see what their opinions were. Did they feel the same way that you felt, or did they feel different? And then you can check in if they're people that you respect and you think you're getting an honest opinion from. As I said, I genuinely think there are reporters and people out there. I can't name names. I just get a lot of very, similar sort of thumbnails and whatever popping up in my feed that are always flipping negative. What's that James guy? I don't know who he is. Does the podcast with Dutch Mantel, Stevie Richards. He's always got a face that looks like a smacked arse on his thumbnails. He's, if you want a name, there's a name. I never had an issue with him, but oh my God. I don't know what's happened, but in 2026, it seems like every video is, a flipping disaster. Everything's just doom and gloom. So, there are people that are out there that have kind of, took that approach. And I don't really ever see much positivity coming out of certain places. And listen, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. If that is the direction that you want to go, then that's the direction you can go. If that's what the tone of your channel is going to be, and that's going to be the audience that you want to cultivate, then that's absolutely fine. But it does not have to be that way. That is not that's a choice. So yeah, I don't want that. I ain't interested in that. I'm looking for an honest community that will share their honest opinions. If it's bad, we'll talk about it being bad. If it's good, we'll talk about it being good. But the general feeling should always be that we want this to be the best it can be. The headline should always be that we're rooting for WWE to succeed. And I promise you, any criticism that I've ever given, it comes from that mindset. It comes from, I ain't enjoying this. Why the flip are they doing this? But I want WWE to succeed, and I want WWE to thrive, and I want this to be the company that I've loved since I was a child. So, yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting point you make there, Aaron, because it could be true that you could actually enjoy it more, stepping away from the noise. Certainly, if you're seeing some of the same things I'm seeing, because it is just flipping everywhere. It's got worse. I really think it's got worse. If this seems like a weird conversation for us to be having, just know it's because I've seen thumbnails, videos, comments, and it seems like it's got worse. And I think part of it is because I'm quite excited for SummerSlam, but yeah, I'm seeing a lot of negativity towards SummerSlam, and I'm sort of scratching my head on it, kind of like, why? This feels all right to me. I get what Brim was saying. Bryn earlier was saying that, you know, he likes the card, but just struggling with the hype. I can understand that. But that's not what I'm seeing. I'm seeing way more toxic negativity than, you know, those kinds of comments. I don't feel that way. I'm looking forward to next weekend. I am not going to leave this community, though, but X is a joke of an app, says Aaron. Yeah, it's... I agree. We might have been seeing a lot of similar comments, to be honest. Okay, Landon said, San Diego Comic-Con was great. What do you think? I didn't see any superstar figures, and how does that make you feel? Hello. Yeah, gutted. I'm gutted. I can't say San Diego Comic-Con was a success for me. But that's because there was one main thing that I was looking out for, and that was the WWE Superstar line, the Walmart exclusive line. And, you know, for years, they weren't available in this country. I think they started in 2021, and I loved the look of them from the very first moment I saw them. But they weren't available over here, so I would have had to have had them shipped, and that would cost extra. So I was sort of like, you don't need them, right? They're cool, but you don't need them. And then, of course, in 2024, I went to Florida. I went on holiday. I actually got to a Walmart and got to see them in my hands. And next thing I know, I'm buying them, right? So I end up bringing a load back with me. And lo and behold, by absolute chance, Wrestling Shop started stocking them like months later. Out of the blue, they're like, we've managed to, you know, do a deal, and we're going to start stocking the WWE Superstars line. So, I mean, it was just like the stars aligned. And this series, which I've always admired from afar, is now, you know, available to me here in the UK. But, I mean, I'd already sort of committed to it anyway. So, I've just been keeping my fingers crossed that new figures would always be on the way, because I keep reading that they are hard to find in America. I keep reading that people go to Walmart's and it's just the same old stuff on the shelves. And I keep reading people saying, I love this line, but I think I'm done with it because I just can never find these new figures. Apparently, there's whole series that just people have not found. We've been getting them over here in the UK. It's crazy. We're getting them. But Walmart, seemingly there's something wrong, and that cannot be good for sales, can it? That can't be good for sales. So you're hearing of all this distribution trouble, and so that means that this figure line's slowly dying a death. So every time there's a figure show, like San Diego Comic-Con or like WrestleMania or whatever, you kind of go into it going, oh my God, I hope this isn't the end. I hope that this isn't where it wraps up, and it does feel like you're living on a wing and a prayer. So that was the one thing, the only thing I was really looking for. You're right, we didn't get anything. There was nothing shown, and I was very disappointed. Still some really good stuff, though. I mean, you know, I think if you're into AAA, then there's new AAA figures coming. That's obviously very exciting. I think if you are into a lot of the new stars, you know, there's a Danhausen on the way, a Ghoulhausen that's coming as well. So, you know, we've got some of the new superstars that are coming in as well. I'm trying to think what the best figure was that I saw. There was a Hogan that's going to come with a rare belt. Actually put it up on my X account. It's a belt that was only shown a few times in 1986. It's got a big oval, very AEW, big oval front plate, and it's got a picture on it of Hogan. And there's always been a bit of a mystery around what was that belt? Like, why did he use it a few times in 1986 as the WWE Championship? I'll show you the picture of the figure, actually. I heard that the reason why he got rid of it, so this is it here, look, big oval front plate, and it's got his picture. So obviously they had plans for this to be the championship. And if ever there was a new champion, they wouldn't change the side plates. They would change the picture on the front, and it would be a picture of the champion. Something that they've done in other promotions. But that was the belt. Only appeared a handful of times in 1986. And apparently it was uncomfortable to wear. And that's the reason as to why it didn't stick around and ended up getting changed. So, yeah, I mean, these are the kind of things that I think are really fun. I mean, as a figure collector, I do look at that and think, oh, man, that would be a good one to get. You know, that's a really rare title. I don't even know that. I don't think they make replicas of it. So if you want to have this in your collection, this belt, and the story behind this belt, you know, then this is one of the only ways that you're going to officially be able to add it to your collection. And, you know, funny, I started getting into figures because of the belts. It wasn't the figures, it was the belts. I've always been a lover of the championships and the various ones over the years. And I was so impressed with Mattel and what they were doing with the belts. The very first Mattel figure I bought was Paige, and she came with 2 belts. She came with the NXT Women's Championship and the Butterfly Divas belt. It was based on when she won the Divas title from AJ. She was still the NXT champ, I believe, at the time. So she was, you know, she had 2 belts. So that figure was the first Mattel figure that I got because she came with 2 belts. And then I started to get other figures that came with belts. And then, of course, you see a Rowdy Roddy Piper that doesn't come with a belt, but it's Piper. You got to get it. And then Undertaker doesn't come in the belt, but it's Undertaker. Got to get it. Then you see Macho Man in a sick robe from WrestleMania 3. Doesn't come with a belt. Doesn't matter. You got to get it. And before you know it, your collection that started off about belts is now just chaos. And then, obviously, with the channel taking off, you would go to the shops to look at the new figures, and you'd end up buying the whole series and coming back with like 6 figures, having spent like 120 odd pounds. And you'd come back with like the latest Elite series, and it would be a mixture of people with belts, people not with belts. You know, like the Nasty Boys. They didn't come with belts, but like, goddamn Nasty Boys. Do you know what I mean? I grew up with the Nasty Boys and all of that kind of era. So, yeah, for me, this is really interesting. The Hogan figure I couldn't care less about. I've got a Hogan figure. It's the belt that kind of grabs me. So, you know, there's obviously the Bray Wyatt 3-pack, I think, is going to be one that's going to really grab people. The CM Punk Larry AJ set, I think, is really nice. The Chucky Liv Morgan is really fun. The Sheamus, oh yeah, the Demonito is fun. Is this the Sheamus one? Yeah. So you put ice on the figure, and it brings out bruising apparently and marks. So he's putting ice on the figure, and then the chest kind of goes red, and it brings out marks on the chest. Look at that. So it reacts to, I don't know if it reacts to cold. I don't know if it's a heat thing. But there we go. You can see there's no marks. Put the ice on, and then all of a sudden you've got marks on the chest, which is pretty crazy, isn't it? And then there's the Bray Wyatt set. The 3 Wyatt figures. So normal Funhouse. The Fiend that we never saw because he passed away before we got to that. Muscle Man Dance. I think people will love that. I think people will love Muscle Man Dance. Really cool. Swappable hands. Firefly Funhouse backgrounds. I mean, look at that. Look at that. This is going to be a must, isn't it? For a lot of you, this is going to be a must. Wrestling Figure News saying this is an exclusive for Target. This is where I go, by the way. I always go here to, I haven't seen today, but this is Wrestling Figure News Source. Yeah, they've got these figures as well, which are like crossover figures. So you can see Wolfman in the background being Jacob. The Invisible Man, John Cena, which is, you know, very clever. Obviously Kane there. Yeah, I mean, there's some really, really good stuff that was shown. But still no Superstars figures. Stephanie as Chun-Li. Got some Street Fighter cross. I don't get Jay as Delscene. I don't get it. Don't see how that makes sense. Perhaps it's got something to do with the yeet or something, because he does that with his arms, so his arms being extendable. Don't know. I don't look at Jay and ever think of Delscene. So, whatever. Yeah, I don't even know who that character is, to be honest. Brock as Zangief, is it? Then we've got those LJM ones. We did the video on that, which was really cool. Few other bits. Not all of this is WWE, by the way. There's a lot of companies that kind of show stuff off at this time of year. So, Lash Legends, Austin Theory, new Big Boss Man with the jacket, Eddie Guerrero, new Ultimate Edition British Bulldog, John Cena, AAA ring. There's that set. I think that's the Zack Ryder, John Cena. I mean, there's loads of really good new figures. I mean, there's going to be something here. Look at that Mr. Iguana. There's going to be something here for everyone. But not for me. No WWE Superstars for me. Good question, though. The ticket price chat was quite foolish. People said it's awful that WWE had to lower the prices, like that was a bad thing. As Daniel Bryan used to say, fickle, said Aaron. Yeah, no, I agree with you. As soon as I heard the news, I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was great. I mean, we sit here and talk about how we want ticket prices to come down, and all right, maybe the reason for them reducing it was not a good reason. It wasn't because they, the goodness of their heart, they decided that they were now going to start reducing ticket prices. But, whatever the reasoning, it happened, and that's great. Bottom line is there's going to be kids and families that are going to go to SummerSlam now that would not have gone before. And I agree. Good stuff. Daze, can you go on Amazon and show people my book, said Sonny? I don't know, to be honest, Sonny. What's it called? Poetry. What's it called? Poetry Hailstorm, was it? Is it available in the UK? New chair, says William. No, old chair. New chair, but old chair. My old chair actually gave up. This one creaks a bit. This is a chair that I've used before. I don't know. You can't see the arms. The arms are all wore and everything, but they're still where they should be. The other chair has deteriorated to the point where the arms like that, and I've been waiting for that chair to go back down in price because it was around 800 and something. Now it's been like 1,200. We're not talking a small amount of money. It's like £400 difference. So I keep waiting and waiting for that chair that I've been looking at to go down, because it's meant to be the one. It's meant to be the creme de la creme. It's meant to be, if you sit in a chair all day, this is the one to get. It's actually the one that Tommy Toy Travels has got. He's got it. But I don't know if it's Iran and all that conflict. I mean, we sort of said that it could have been, and it could be, because we know how much shipping and everything has been disrupted. But either way, they're just not, as a result of oil and everything, I'm guessing, I don't know, prices just not coming down. So, yeah, as a result, I've actually got two chairs. I've got this one which creaks, right? That's why I don't use it. And then I've got the other one. Well, the other one's just got to the point where I think it's done. So I've had to chuck that over there and go back to the creaky one. So I will get a new chair. It is still on my agenda. It's not like I've given up, but I just, honestly, it's not good. All the prices are just way too expensive at the moment. Big Time said, Daze, Meltzer just spews toxicity, trying to calculate Raw numbers based on global views, saying that Dynamite is beating Raw. If NXT does 690, he won't say anything because it doesn't fit the narrative. Well, I can't get my head around Dave, to be honest. I mean, the one thing I'll say about Dave is I know and believe he prefers AEW. I think it's, and I can accept that. That's okay. I don't have no issue with that. If he, some people say that you should be balanced and all this kind of stuff. But the truth is, he watches a lot of wrestling. If he finds himself enjoying AEW more, then, that's fine. It's more of the style that he prefers. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem that people that enjoy AEW over WWE or enjoy TNA over WWE or New Japan over WWE. Like, these people exist. And it's fine. It's understandable. I think WWE does have its flaws. We sit here show after show saying the in-ring's not good enough, the in-ring's not good enough, the in-ring's... Well, the in-ring's really important. So, you can understand people watching AEW getting a better in-ring product. Okay, maybe some of their stars may not feel as big. Maybe they don't have anyone that's the size of a Roman Reigns, right? And they, maybe don't worry so much about aura farming and spending time on the entrances. And, all of that is what helps make Roman and what helps make the big stars Rhea. I mean, you've got to do that stuff if you want to get people to that level. AEW don't worry so much about that. They just, they do entrances and, they, make people as big as they can or, give as much time as they want. But really, they've got a big focus on in-ring. So I honestly don't mind him preferring AEW. And I think part of the issue is that a lot of people can't accept that. There's a lot of people that can't do that, and they just attack Dave, and Dave then attacks back. And again, this is where negativity breeds negativity. This is where, like, Brian Alvarez gets frustrated because he says to Dave, ignore the noise. Don't answer back to it, because all you're doing is you're feeding it. And he's right. He's right. I mean, like, it is true that if you get, like, negative comments, if you think it's constructive and it's from someone you respect and you think it's an honest thing that needs responding to, then respond to it. But if it's someone you've never heard of that's just coming in, just, going, you never know, you always talk rubbish, I don't know why anyone listens to you or something along those lines, which is the kind of thing Dave gets. What are you going to say back to that person that's going to make them change their mind? What are you going to say back to that person that's going to make them go, oh, no, actually, I see your point of view? I mean, there probably is nothing that can be said. So just don't feed it. Don't get into it. Don't get into the back and forth. Because all Dave Meltzer's flipping Twitter account is him arguing with people. And I don't think that helps. Because, like, you just then get a load of, like, WWE fans having a pop at him. And I can't imagine that makes him feel any warmer towards WWE. So, I don't know, man. I don't really engage in any of that stuff. I listen to the rumors. I prefer listening to Brian Alvarez over Dave Meltzer. I think that Meltzer is someone worth listening to because he has got stuff right in the past. And there is a degree of credibility there. I mean, there must be, otherwise people just wouldn't, pay attention to his star ratings or pay attention to him at all. The truth is that there is, I think, a degree of respect that's there, considering he's been doing this for decades, and his word still carries some weight. If there was no one that respected him, then his word wouldn't carry any weight. So. Yeah, I think the Dave Meltzer one is, like, I just ignore it, to be honest. I just ignore it. I think there is a time where he can provide some interesting context, but I don't know. I don't really get into the Dave Meltzer hates WWE stuff because I just don't care, and I don't really understand why anyone else cares. He prefers AEW. That's fine. That's okay. The only bit where I would have an issue is if he was starting to lie about WWE and he was starting to, you know, kind of bend the truth or whatever. Well, I don't know. I don't pay attention enough. I don't listen to all of his shows or read everything he says to get into the weeds that much. So, yeah, the kind of Dave Meltzer, anti-Dave Meltzer rhetoric is of very limited interest to me. Landon said, when I was a kid, I'd watch your toy hunts. I loved those. And as a kid with autism, you helped me escape the outside world. Oh, Landon, shout out to you, but I'm glad you enjoyed them. I always had people like yourself in mind when I made them, actually, where, you know, figure fans at home, you know, or in a car or whatever, just looking for something to watch. You know, could I show the latest figures? Could I make it as entertaining as possible? I always tried to add in a few little fun bits, fun voiceover, a few little extra slides, whatever. And I loved it as well. I mean, the thing that was so much fun was that if ever I did a toy hunt, it kind of was an outing for me because I'd be at work all week. And then on my day off, I would go to the shop. So I'd go to the shop. And of course, if I'm on the train and I spot something or something happens, you know, I would film it and it would be part of the video because I always thought that just walking in the shop, going straight to the section, here's the figures, done, kind of, you lost a bit of flavor. I think if I'm in America, I would be interested to know, what does the outside of the shop look like? What, you know, let's have that process of actually walking into the store together. Let's go over to the toy section together. You might even spot a few other things as I'm doing that. You might go, oh, look, they've got loads of, we haven't got those figures, or I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. Everyone's looking at slightly different things, aren't they? Things are jumping out to you that might not mean anything to me. So I always tried to get some of that extra flavor involved. And then, like, you go over to the section, and then, you know, I wouldn't show everything because a lot of stuff maybe you've featured in previous videos, but you find the latest ones and, you know, make sure. I'd always look actually through the phone rather than at the figure so that I can see what's being captured. So, I mean, there's a lot of times I'm actually stood in shops with a figure like this. I was looking to see if I have a figure. I haven't. But I'm normally like this, where I'm actually looking at the figure through the phone. And then, you know, putting it back up. What have we got? Actually, I do a lot of looking through the phone. I must look like a flipping idiot. But I want to see what footage is being captured. So there's no point doing that and then you get home and realise that you weren't focused on what you should have been focused on. So, yeah, I'd always be looking like through the actual thing. So you do that, go back. Rarely would I actually do the voiceover in store because of the music in the background and the phone, like, you know, if it was going to be picking me up. Plus also you could be talking and you might need to edit at a certain point, which would cut your conversation off. So most of the time I did like voiceovers when I got back home, tried to recreate the emotion of, like, you know, when I found the figure or whatever. I loved it, man. I loved it. And I was so grateful to everyone that watched them because, I mean, that really was a big, big part of the channel. Without those, I don't think we're sat here now. Without the toy hunts, I don't think we're sat here today doing these streams because they really got the ball rolling for the channel. So I really, really appreciate it. And yeah, I made it as good as I could. So the kids or whoever was watching hopefully would have a laugh and whatever. And I'm glad that they landed with many of you out there. Sonny said, yeah, my book should be in the UK. Search my name. Search my name. Search my name. Let's have a look. Oh, well. Yeah. That's interesting. Oh, yeah, you can. Yeah, well, it was interesting because I looked at it and it just said that... Oh, there it is. It didn't give me a buy option. It just said that you can get this on Kindle Unlimited. But if you click on it, it does then give you a buy option. This is Sonny's latest book. It's here's Sonny. So it is called A Poetic Hailstorm. This is Emily's 4th book. There are political poems, love poems, spiritual poems, weather poems, nature poems, wrestling poems. The book is filled with poetry made from the soul and from the heart. So a poetic hailstorm. These are some of Sonny's other ones as well. So the thoughts within, after the storm, and the soul within. You can get these on Kindle Unlimited. So if you've got Kindle Unlimited already, you'd be able to get those. So there we go, an introduction to our very own Sonny Wolf. Lovely. Right, where are we? We've got half an hour to go. Some of my favourites would say the men are here. Umaga, Kamala. Always had fun with them, buds. Always had fun with them. William said, Daze, if I had a blow-up dollar myself, would you even answer the door and accept the package, let alone show it on stream? Well, I would certainly accept the package in both ways, William. I'm not sure that doll would be in much of a condition to show on stream after a weekend of heavy usage, let's put it that way. So feel free to send it over, buds. Matteo said, did you see Julia Lash Legend has been added for next week? I did. Yeah, a lot of things going down after SmackDown, including the Trick Williams thing. And good. Yeah, I'm not down on it. I mean, I don't think anyone was really looking for Nia to get another opportunity. So Julia Lash, the only down is I think both could be added. I mean, Lash is good. I mean, she's got a good size to her. It's Trick Williams' partner. She's been in the tag division. She's not as far along as Julia. I would imagine the majority of people are going to be hoping for Julia. But Lash is one of those sort of heels that's got credibility, a good size to her. She's been good. I mean, she's been doing well. I've not really heard any criticisms or anything about Lash. So she's definitely someone that I would not hate being added to this match. But really, if you have to choose, you're probably saying it should be Julia. So, yeah, fine, good. 2 people that haven't had opportunity get an opportunity. Big Time said, Days NXT on CW after August 1st is replacing 5 CBS main channels in the US. It's like upgrading to BBC One after being on BBC Two because CW doesn't have the reach of Fox CBS, so numbers could grow. Okay. So CW is replacing 5 CBS main channels in the US. Okay. I mean, sounds good. I don't quite have my head around it, but it seems positive. So good. Hopefully we see, numbers continuing to improve. As we've said, though, I do struggle with the ratings because I never know what's been used on what methods and, what's changed and all this kind of stuff. So hopefully if there is some stability and things just aren't changing and everything's just being kept the same, then, hopefully we can see some good growth there. Where do we watch this AAA show, said FaZe. Oh, it's on YouTube, buds. If you go to YouTube, you'll be able to find it there. Daze, do you think that you could be a special guest on the Dave and William podcast in the future? Well, I've never been asked, to be honest. I mean, I don't want to make this controversial, but I've never been asked. Yeah, I can't see why not. I like both of those guys, of course I do. I've got time for both. So, yeah, definitely. I don't know. I think it airs on a Sunday, doesn't it? So the only problem is, like, this weekend or tomorrow we've got the WWE Vault SummerSlam. And then next weekend, of course, we've got SummerSlam. So, you know, as long as there's nothing like that that's in the way, then yeah, they're fine. Someone's got to be asked first, though, to be honest. I'm so sick of hearing people being so down on Tiffany. She's pretty. She's athletic. She's gymnastic. She's a wrestler. Maybe don't pump so much of her ass into her lips. Not my ass or lips. I feel like you was very kind, and then we might have took a turn at the end. I think people are... It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because she was really popular. And then I don't know if people feel like they were a bit cheated in the sense of we got really excited for her and then she just seemed to run out of steam. It just seems... She seems a bit lost to me, if I'm going to be honest. I think what's happened is I think she's probably got to main roster. Things were going really well. She's hit some hard times. You know, I think the Charlotte thing knocked her around. I think the breakup with Ludwig is going to have been very difficult. I think the ever-growing criticism as, you know, she kind of showed us everything she could do, and then I don't think there was anything else in reserve. You know, the box of tricks, the bag of tricks had been emptied out, and there was nothing left in the bag. I think there could be a bit of mental burnout. I think there could be a bit of emotional burnout. I think the criticism could have got pretty loud. Then you've, as we said, you've got the breakup with Ludwig. I mean, look, she goes away, she takes the break, she comes back, and I don't know, man. I don't feel like things have really changed. I don't feel like we're in like a different place. And I think it might be that she just doesn't know what to do now. You know, if we were in that position, we've seen so much wrestling and we sort of know what fans like, what they don't like. You can sort of try a few things, you know? You can sort of tweak some stuff and try some stuff. And I think one thing that, you know, a lot of us wouldn't be struggling with would be ideas. If we were in that position, if things had gone a bit stale, I think that we, you know, by and large should be pretty good at sort of like, how do I get out of this rut? You know, obviously you'd speak to Triple H, you'd speak to some other wrestlers, you know, bring in a couple of new moves, you know, maybe try and get a bit more depth into the stories. Maybe you can speak to creative. Maybe you can have some ideas for the character. Maybe she's got ideas and perhaps those ideas aren't being listened to. You never know, do you? It's always hard to say because we can only judge what we see. And I think what we're seeing at the moment doesn't really feel any different to what we were getting last year. Probably not helped by the fact that, you know, I don't think she's really involved in any interesting stories. She could be. I mean, we've got Julia sniffing around. There's Tiffany sniffing around. There's Blake Monroe sniffing around. There's people that are, you know, still around the mid-card title. So Chelsea is never far away as well. So I mean, I agree with a lot of you in the sense of I don't think her going and chasing after a world title is the right thing for her, because that's her just being a participant trying to achieve a championship just like everyone else. So the spotlight's not on her. The spotlight is on all of them as they try to win this interim title. If she had have been defending the US title, the spotlight would have been on her. And she could have had a feud. And we could have done promos. And we could have done a build. And actually, I think her missing out on that is a problem. When, you know, I don't think she's winning this interim title. I don't know who's winning it, to be honest, but I don't think it's her. I'm not looking for it to be her. So I sort of feel like it would have been better if we hadn't have put her in this match and we had actually just had her defending that US title instead. So I think Tiffany's interesting. I don't really blame her because I think she's doing everything she can. I think the problem is that she's not been in the system that long. I think she's shown us everything she knows, and I don't think there's much else she can do. You know, what else can she do? I mean, she needs to go away and she needs to be putting the work in. And this just brings us back to that whole conversation about when people get called up, how do they continue to improve on the main roster? How do they continue to develop? How do they continue to learn? How do you go from being a prospect, someone that's got something about them, someone that's, you know, ready to kind of take on the responsibility of being on the main roster? How do you take someone like a Theory or a Tiffany or, you know, someone along those lines, a Fallon or whatever, someone that, you know, yeah, okay, we can trust them to be turning up to places on time, to conduct themselves professionally, to be able to handle a promo if we chuck one their way, to be able to handle a match if we chuck one their way. You know, they've passed those tests, but how do they continue to flesh out their characters, flesh out their promo skills, flesh out their... How do they continue to do that on the main roster? That would be my question to Triple H. And if he turned around and said, well, this is, you know, where we need to do more house shows, I would say, yes, I do agree with you. But I think we all know that you're never going to return to the level of house shows that are probably needed in order for this talent to really make the progress that we need them to make. If you want Tiffany to really get to the levels that we all hope she can get to, I don't think the level of house shows they're doing at the moment is going to help her really get there anytime soon. It feels like you need a proper support system. It feels like there needs to be an extensive debrief of your segments, with, you know, one-on-one coaching and, you know, a real kind of fast track of leveling up your skills, because these people still need just as much tutoring as they did when they were in NXT. Like, you don't just go, oh, there you go, done, good luck, and then go back to NXT and, you know, you train them and just leave your Tiffany's, your Roxanne's, you know, your Grayson Waller's, your Austin Theories. You don't just leave them and go good luck. You know, you have to give them that support. Maybe there's some there. I don't know. I don't know what it looks like. This would be a big question I would have for Triple H. Big question, because I really think that is a big part of the problem. I think that there's a lot of people that come up that then hit a brick wall. I think there's a lot of people that come up that then get stuck and don't show that improvement. You know, Trick could be the exact same thing. Trick could also run out of steam eventually, because I don't know if his skills are improving. So, yeah, I think that, you know, taking her away from a feud, a build, promos, backstage segments, in-ring segments, and just shoving her in a ladder match, I think that's a real shame. I think that's a mistake. But, well, you know, WWE are going to do what they think's right for SummerSlam, and sometimes what's right for SummerSlam might not necessarily be right for certain individual wrestlers. I think once they get to the main roster, they think they've made it and that they don't need to put in as much work or improvements for them. Well, you know, I would hope not. I mean, for me, I think when you get to the main roster, you could really make an argument that's where the work really starts, because I think NXT is about basics. I think it's about improving your basics. I think it's about finding a character. I think it's about getting experience. You know, a lot of people come in from next in line that won't have wrestled in front of people or cut promos in the ring or had to deal with different situations. And I think a lot of the NXT stuff is about getting, you know, experience of all those different things and finding a character and building on your connection with the audience. Now, once you've got ticks in those boxes, that means that you are of a standard where you can go to the main roster. And I've used this comparison before, and you've heard it, right? But again, there's always new people joining us. I learned to drive years ago, and I mean, I didn't pass my first test. I didn't even pass my second test. It took me 3 tests to pass, right? I'm not a naturally good driver. I just don't care about driving, and I don't drive much. So as a result, I'm not like a massively confident driver. I'm not someone that gets in a car and just, you know, I'm like, if I get in the car, I've really got to think about things because I just don't drive much. I've never needed it. Where do I go? I just don't need it. And it's like most things. If you don't do it much, then it becomes hard. So I've passed my test, but I don't know, man. You know, I'm not the most confident of drivers. But anyway, I remember going for my test the third time, second time, and my instructor saying to me, just remember, you don't need to be perfect. They're not looking for you to make 0 mistakes ever. Like, you can relax, and it's okay if you even make some mistakes. What they're looking for is that you're safe and you don't make any major mistakes. You know, I don't know what it's like in America, but over here, you're allowed, I think it's like 12 minor mistakes. And you can make like minor mistakes, like maybe forgetting to check a mirror or something. You can, that'll be a minor. But like, obviously, if you run a red light or you're doing a 50 and a 30, you know, anything major, that's a straight fail. So, you know, they teach you how to drive. They teach you the basics. You go off and drive and, you know, get your own experience. And then you have your test and you've just got to make sure you're safe. And, you know, I passed my test, blah, blah. And that really helped me. I found that very helpful because it took pressure off me because I knew that there was a bit of breathing room. It's not like a gymnastics dance routine where you've got to try and get 10s. You know, it's all right if you get 8s. That's fine. As long as you don't get 5s, you know, it's all right for you to get to a, you know, there's a bit of breathing room. And I think that's the same is true in wrestling. That's why I say it. Because I think that there's ticks in the box that say, can you do a promo? Yep. Can you do a wrestling match and, you know, keep the crowd engaged? Yep. Have you got a character? Have you got good presentation? Yep. You know, I think there are tick boxes of skills that wrestlers need before they go to the main roster. But really, the work has to begin when you get to the main roster because no one wants to watch someone that's just got the basics down. We all want to watch people that know who they are confident in who they are. They know their characters and, you know, they can portray that through a promo, through a match, through a catchphrase, through their entrance, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, they're just, they feel vibrant. They feel exciting. I think with Tiffany, she feels 2-dimensional. I think she comes out and she's like, I feel like she's looking around at the fans doing this, going, what time is it? And it just feels so hollow. And it really feels 2-dimensional. And it feels like I'm doing this because I've been trained to do this. I'm not even really thinking about what I'm doing. I just know that I have to say my catchphrase as I come to the ring. And I'm going to do that. And I'm going to always do that because that's what I've been told to do. And, you know, it's not about thinking for yourself. It's not about building upon the basics. It's not about exploring the character. Do you know what I mean? Like really spreading your wings. It feels very refined, very tight, very 2-dimensional. That would be my criticism. I think she's got improving in every area, from promos to in-ring to character. But yeah, she's probably got the basics where she's not really an NXT talent. So she's in this weird place, man. She's in this weird place where she needs leveling up. She needs working with. I think the work really, really begins when you first arrive on the main roster. Once you've been there a while and you've kind of done the loop a few years and you've kind of been put in different experiences, you know, I mean, you find yourself becoming Liv. You know, Liv was in that situation. And she, you know, is now, you know, a great talent. She's worked it out. She's very comfortable with her character. She knows what this character is. You know, she knows how to interact with Dom, how to interact with Roxanne. You know, you could say to Liv, we're going to do a backstage segment. we think that Dominik's been cheating. I want you to talk to Roxanne about it. And Liv can be like, okay, have you got words for me? Have you got a script? No, we didn't get time. Can you just do something? And I really believe she'd be able to do it because she knows the character. She knows how to like perform. She knows the kind of things to say to Roxanne. And I think she could improv that, no problem. Tiffany, I don't know. Maybe she could, maybe she couldn't. But I feel like I've got more confidence that Liv could deliver that over Tiffany at the moment. Because I think Tiffany could probably give you something, but I think it'd be very basic, might be a bit clunky, a bit awkward in places, might not feel natural, because I don't really think she knows fully what her character is, because we haven't really done anything with it. So I think that she is someone that's got potential. I think she's someone that hopefully is going to be around for a long time. I don't wish her no ill will. If anything, I wish that she gets the support I think she needs. I wish that WWE would, do more with these superstars that have just been called up. So a little bit of a long walk, but hopefully people that haven't heard that before have got something from it. It feels like we all cheered Tiffany, and then she got the promotion and she just became like a corporate drone, and then goes down a company line. The passion and the love that we had for her, it's been thrown away for money, says William. Interesting. Trini, talking about her islands, not her boobs. Population on both islands is 1.2 million. You can imagine how small our country is. That's 2 islands put together. We haven't got room for bad drivers, said Trini. Well, I won't come over, Trini. Don't worry. Message received. Yeah, I think it's relatively easy to pass your test in America, isn't it? I think it's a bit trickier over here in the UK. We drive manuals. I think in America you drive a lot of automatics. To be honest, I've been thinking of getting an automatic because, it is easier, isn't it? Go, stop. Reverse, done. Rather than having to mess around with gears and clutch control and all that kind of stuff. I learned in a manual. But and manuals are still the cars that are driven over here. But yeah, you can find loads of automatics. Right, where are we time-wise? We've got 5 minutes. AAA going down tonight. Verano De Escandalo. Right, we have got Ray, we've got Dirty Dom, we've got El Grande. Looks like we got Rayo and Bravo in the graphic as well. Perros Del Mal, they are obviously going to be in action. Daga and a partner from his group, but they've kept it a mystery. I don't really know why, because unless it's someone new, I'm not really bothered. So, yeah, let's see what they've got for us, shall we? How long we got? 4 minutes. I feel like Tiffany is a victim of WWE quickly accelerating her to the top. Winning Money in the Bank, women's title. There's nothing else to go but down. Take it slow, like Roxanne. I agree with that. I think we've said that they've gone too quick with people. I feel like they've gone too quick with Sol Ruka. I think they went a bit too quick with Julia, although her having the US title twice has done nothing for her. Stephanie getting to that world title. I don't know if it helped. I really don't know. Probably didn't hurt, but I don't think the average person was massively connected with her. I think the best feud she had was the Liv one. At WrestleMania was the best thing she was involved in. So, yeah, I don't know why we do it. I don't know why Trick's been raced to the title as quick as what he has, why Stephanie was, why Julia has. I think there's a desperation, honestly. I think they're desperate. I think that they have very much identified we need to push new stars. And rather than, working on their characters and really getting them connected with the audience, they're just shoving them to belts, thinking that that's going to be a way of showing these people are, you know, amazing. They're amazing because look how quickly they've got to these belts. But it's the character that's more important. Belt is just an accessory. Like, yeah, it's important, but you know, the fans were loving Daniel Bryan, absolutely loving him in the build towards WrestleMania. I mean, to be honest, if he'd never won the WWE Championship, it wouldn't have been a problem because he was over. He didn't get more over when they put the belt on him. He was over. He was connected. So when we say a belt's an accessory, you know, the belts obviously help, and they're obviously very prestigious, but I don't think they're a fast track to getting people over. If a belt magically got people over, then wrestling would be very easy, wouldn't it? Be very straightforward. You just put a belt on a person and they get over. I just think it's lazy. It's lazy booking. That's, you know, you want people to get over because people connect with the person, with the character, either love them or hate them for reasons. And you've got to give those reasons. You can't just go, this person's mid-card champion, so respect her, you know? But whatever. Let's get stuck into some AAA, shall we? AAA. We should be starting with this very, very soon. Don't know what Rey Mysterio is going to be talking about tonight. That'll be interesting. See what Rey has got to say. Days. I don't know if you guys can join next weekend for SummerSlam. I'm going to go and hang out with my sister. Hope you have a lot of fun, though, said Matty O. Matty O, shout out to you. Well, we're around. If you're feeling at a loss, you know where we are. I think the problem with Tiffany is that she's joined the main roster as a heel, and everything felt natural. But then things changed as soon as she became a babyface, says Jay Rich. Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe taking her back to being a heel would be a good move. I don't disagree with that. Shiny Wizard said everyone should learn in a manual. It should be mandatory. Imagine if you're in an accident and you got to drive someone to emergency and their car's a manual, said Shining Wizard. I think a lot of cars in America are automatic, though, like the vast majority. But yeah, here in the UK, you should learn in a manual, because I think I'm right in saying most cars are still manual over here. Okay, black screen. So something's happening. Oh, here we go. Then, now, forever, together, forever, together. Okay, we are going over to the show. Right. What have they got up their sleeve for us? Oh, is that Lola? Hola! Hola, Lola! I don't know if I've got... Oh, there it is. I've always got a dodgy connection. I can never hear the commentary. There's Rey Mysterio. So we've seen Lola. That's Dirty Dom. Dirty Dom. An unlikely ally. With this man, there he is on a horse. El Grande. That's pretty sick, isn't it? El Grande on a horse. Okay, we've got a drone. It's a jittery drone. I don't know who's driving the drone, who's flying the drone. It looks good. It's a good arena, actually, isn't it? That drone was a bit like, oh, this way a bit, this way a bit. It wasn't like naturally just... I'm really worried about this drone operator. We kind of swooped down. Now we're circling round. Rey Mysterio's making his way down to the ring. The Gerente General. Okay. Summer of Scandal. Rey Mysterio. The arena does look cool, said Wrestling Fam. Okay, Rey Mysterio in the ring. Okay, Rey in the ring. Welcoming everyone to the show. What is Rey going to announce? What is he going to announce? I've been coming to this city since the earliest days of my career. I feel a huge pride. Okay, the fans are just chanting Mysterio. I'm working really hard to take Lucha Libre to a global stage. I wanted to give you some good news. Here's Omos. Omos is making his way down to the ring. Okay, Omos is coming down. So we didn't actually get an announcement, which is a bit annoying. Okay, Omos is coming down. This has been really slow. Rey has come down. He says that, you know, they're trying to make this a global brand. And before he can really say anything, Omos comes down. So 6 minutes in. Can't say we've had much so far. Still looking forward to finding out what this is going to be, though. Rey. Okay, loud boos. Rey. Crazy size difference, obviously, between Omos and Rey. Rey does look tiny here. To be honest, this segment's probably going to eat up some time. I think they did have a third match planned for this show, which has seemingly been cancelled. So they've probably had to cobble this together a little bit. Dorian's in the ring with Omos. Okay, we got some chance at Dorian. Are we doing the third week of this after SummerSlam? I haven't got that far, Matteo, to be honest, bud. Ray looks like a little person compared to Omos, said Suzanne. Ray's having Carly flashback, said Pat. Omos hasn't got a clue what's being said, said Riley. Join the club. I'm going to give you a chance to make the right decision here, says Dorian. What is the decision? Give us back the championship as Omos steps up to Ray. So we're threatening violence on Ray here. Omos looks great. You're not going to be the first man to threaten me. This isn't a threat. This is a choice. Who's that guy that he's been feuding with? Is it Galante or something? Is he going to come down? Someone's coming to Ray's aids. Perhaps it's going to be his daughter. The answer is no, says Ray. You're not going to be given back the title. Okay, you've made your choice. Okay, Omos steps up to Ray. Perhaps the violence is happening now. I don't know what the announcement was going to be. They're walking away. Okay. Damian Priest is going to save him, said TJF. I think the mystery partner for Daga is anyone in AAA or a new debut. I don't think it is going to be one of Petros Del Mal. Maybe it could be Damian Priest, says Matteo. Omos has been working in Mexico for a while. I'm sure he picked up some Spanish. Understanding and being able to be confident to speak are two different things, says Pat. Well, I got to say, I thought it was a disappointing segment. We didn't get an announcement. So I don't know if I doubt there ever was an announcement, unless Ray's going to say something later in the show backstage. And really, it was just give us back our belt, otherwise, you know, we're going to beat you up. He said no. They walked away. That was it. Okay, we're backstage. We've got Dirty Dom. He's wearing a shirt of a young Dom with Eddie. Here's El Grande. I need to hear this from you, says El Grande. Tell me, will you have my back? Yes or no? Are you with me? Or are you with Los Perros? I'm not with them. You and I, we're going to main event Triple Mania. It's going to be the biggest match in the history of AAA. 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 We need to concentrate on tonight. Are you ready? Okay, these two have managed to get onto the same page. Remember, few are chosen. Can't trust Dominik. Okay. Who's that? Damien 666, I think. But I mean, a legend of Mexican wrestling. But have we? I don't even know if we've seen him before, to be honest. In AAA. He might have been around. I mean, it wasn't like a massive pop. Like we haven't seen him, but I don't think I've seen him. But then I've not been able to watch every week, so. Have you considered doing a Triple Mania stream, says Matteo. Have I considered doing it? Yeah, absolutely. I'm very interested. I like this promotion. I mean, look, I don't think this is the strongest of starts, but a reminder, we was meant to be getting a triple threat and Dragon Lee has picked up an injury. And so I think they found this out last minute. And I think that's why we've just had to fill, basically. I mean, if that felt a bit filler, I think it's because it was. I think it was covering for a match. So, you know, we've still got 2 more matches to come. And, yeah, Dragon Lee's injury has resulted in him not being able to compete in that match tonight. Sonny said, I'm waiting for my copy of the book to arrive. I want to make a video for... That's a great idea, Sonny. I honestly, I've said so many times, I think you really do need to get in with poetry communities and, you know, I don't know if there's like poetry talk. I think making videos, reading some of your poems, reading the comments that come back, talking to people about poetry. I just don't think the crossover is brilliant with wrestling. I don't think the Venn diagram of wrestling fans that are also poetry fans. A Venn diagram is where you draw that circle and then you draw that circle. Poetry, wrestling, what's the crossover? Because that's what you're targeting. I don't think it's that big. I don't think it's that big. So I think that's a great idea. You can make loads of TikToks. You could read all of your poems, do a video on each one. And then you could do a video which is like behind the poem. So your first video could be you reading the poem. I don't know if you can get different backgrounds, different settings. Make sure your picture quality is good. Your audio needs to be great because obviously people need to hear it. Deliver the poem with passion. Really make it like, you know, a fun. Sure, it doesn't need to be long, but just make it like people want to watch. Deliver it. Maybe if you do it in different places, could be really good. I mean, it could just be on your phone. I mean, phone quality is excellent, right? So do that. And then you could even do another TikTok, which is behind the poem, where you actually talk about what the poem's about, what the inspiration was. Do a whole series of them. I think it's a great idea. Okay, we're back with Ray again. Is this the history of Ray, is it? It's Ray getting in the ring. Is this an advert for Fortnite or something? Why does it keep cutting to game footage? Guys, what's happening? The hell is this? It's a video game. Free Fire X. What's that mean? Is that a game? Is Free Fire a game? Oh, look. Free Fire game. Is it a game? It is a game. It's a video game. Came out in 2017. It's on Android, iOS, iPads. It's Battle Royale. It's a free-to-play game. Came out 2017. It's got over 150 million daily active users. Surpassed $1 billion in its lifetime revenue. I've never heard of it. Strikes me as a poor man's Fortnite. That's what it looks like to me. It should be called Shite Night. That's right. Burn. Take that. Take that, stupid video game. Has AAA got a game now? Nah. Nah. I think it is literally just... Boom. I think it's just Ray appearing in that game. Nothing is free. I would like a Mr. Iguana figure, said Suzanne. I can understand that, Suzanne. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, we're just looking at the backstory here. Of this mixed tag. I haven't had any commentators. Oh, there we go. There's Corey. Okay, Lola and Mr. Iguana versus La Hiedra and Laredo. Damien 666. He's an OG. Oh, if I knew that he was going to show up today, it wouldn't have happened, says Ray. Okay, here's La Hiedra making her way down to the ring. They're really leaning on filler tonight, said Shining Wizards. Well, to be honest with you, the opening was filler. They haven't really done anything since then. Just a little advert for the video game and then video package as we've headed towards this match, our first match. Triple Mania is on September 11 and 13. It means that September 12 is up for a WWE show. Maybe Crown Jewel, says Matteo. Yeah, I'm a bit confused about the whole September 11 thing, because that, I think, is a Friday. So it's like, is that... I'm sure we're going to run that after SmackDown, but then is that not late? I mean, SmackDown doesn't finish, does it, till 10? We're going to start Triple Mania at that time, are we? Maybe we are. Deal with it. Mr. Iguana making his way out. My sister's boyfriend watches wrestling. He randomly gave me a John Cena figure, said Opala. Very nice. He's a keeper. He passes the test. Here's Lola. She definitely passes the test. Okay. Lola Vice debuted 12 months ago in AAA. Okay. Like, Hiedra was trained by Laredo Kid, says Corey. Those belts being held up in the ring, so Lola Vice. And Mr. Iguana. She's been in NXT developmental for quite a while now, Lola. Gotta be on her way to that main roster soon. Bella's sounded. We are underway with this. It's the men that are starting us off. It's the boys that are getting things going. Okay, nice work there. Going over, rolling through. One. Just a one. Just a one. Okay, looking to lock up and... bang, down goes Mr. Iguana. Gets up. Laredo over, arm drag. Takes his legs away. Going for the cover. Kip over. Whoa. Mr. Iguana flips over as well. That looked pretty good. That looked pretty good. Mr. Iguana. Shot coming in. Over. Oh, into an armbar there by Mr. Iguana. Mr. Iguana back upon his feet, taking over. Laredo. Drop kick. Laredo goes down. Goes over to the corner. In comes La Hiedra. That's going to bring in Lola. She tells Mr. Iguana, get out the way. I'm down for seeing these two going at it in a singles match. Chop coming in, and again there by Lola. Chopping away. Going against the ropes. Off that middle rope. Takes over the Hiedra. Against the ropes goes Lola. Stays on her feet. She goes down. She's trying to get the armbar. No. One. Just a one. She gets back up. Kick coming in. Lovely forearm smash there by Hiedra. Shuts the midsection. We're starting to cook now. Starting to do some cooking. Kick to the midsection. That looked good. And a little dance as well. And a little dance. Over the other side. Another kick coming into the midsection. And a little dance. Another little dance. Over the other side. Gets caught. Slammed down. Lola getting back up to her feet. Picked up. Slammed down. She's getting chucked around a bit here. Getting back up again. Goes down. Kick to the midsection. Duck underneath. Backing away. That was a lovely step. She just took a step back to get her foot in so that she could launch off to throw some kicks. But that was nice. Kicks. Pop, pop, pop. Backs away. Chop coming in there by Mr. Iguana. I think he used the pet iguana. Lola in the corner. Boom! Big smile on the face there of Lola. She goes back over to the middle. Big smile on the face of Laredo Kid, I would imagine. As Lola just collided. Oh my God, look at that. Vagina first. Jeez. Jeez Louise. Getting into it on the outside. She grabs Lola, chucks her back in the ring. Wardrobe malfunction alert. What's there? Oh, Jesus. I never saw a wardrobe malfunction. Aww. You've got to be quicker with your wardrobe malfunction alerts. Because I missed it. Oh. Vicious dropkick by Hiedra, and Lola definitely feeling that. This is the best match of the night, says Riley. That's a great shout, Riley. It's a brave shout. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have a look at the scores in a second. We'll see. But you could be right. I'm with you. Right now, we've got Hiedra. She's got a headlock applied here to Lola. Lola in big trouble. I wish there was a malfunction, said Jeremy. We all do, but we all do. I just can't focus when Lola's in the ring, said Destin. Shot coming into the midsection there by Lola. And again, digging in. Shot coming in there by Hiedra. Down goes Lola. There's about 20,000 watching right now, you know, on WWE. Over in the corner. Lola being set up again. Oh, she manages to get out the corner this time. Got a lovely super kick. Bang. Down she goes. Oh, was that a little wardrobe? Hiedra just got suplexed. And there was a little adjustment. Yeah. Tag being made. Tag being made. The boys are in. Hopefully, there's going to be a wardrobe malfunction for the boys as well, because we're not sexist. Maybe you'll see Mr. Iguana's baby iguana. Goes up, gets caught on the shoulders. Oh, into a crucifix. Driver goes for the cover. 2. Oh, I thought that was a 3 then. I thought that was a 3. Emru said, who can focus when Lola's in the ring? I can, because I'm a highly trained professional. I'm locked in. Shot coming in there by Laredo Kids. People are saying, was that a 3 count? It was very close. Dub match so far. Shot there by Laredo. Scooped up. Oh, driver. Michinoku driver, Laredo Kid going to the outside. Mr. Iguana down. Laredo Kid perched. Going up top. Boom, big splash. 1, 2. Surely that was a 3 as well. What was that ref doing? What the hell's that ref doing? Oh, is this another heel ref? Look how slow that first count is. 1, 2. It wasn't even consistent with his count. Jesus, you got one job. You got one job. What the hell was that? What the flip was that? Ray said, I'll have to go back and revisit that. Yeah, you might. For some reason, Ray, you got a referee that can't count to 3 on a consistent basis. 1, 2. And he went so quickly for the 3. I think it was counted. People in the chat going, he effed up. He effed up. He effed up. He effed up. Who is this ref? Tag being made. Kick coming in there by Lola. And again. Another kick coming in. Duck underneath. Picking up. Down. This is Botchamania for sure, said Useless Agent. Yeah, we got some people in the chat saying Botchamania. Shoulder up. Must be a horrible feeling, though. I mean, imagine if you have botched it and you know you've botched it and the match is still going and you know that people are going to be saying stuff and you're still in the ring. 1, 2, Laredo comes in, makes the save. Laredo comes in, makes the save, saves the day. Goes over the top to the outside. Iguana Rana. Iguana Rana. Lola against the ropes, reverses. Mr. Iguana, 1, 2. Okay, that was better. That was better. He's learned how to do a consistent 3. Oh, Lola planted. 1, 2. It's new champs. New champs. New championes. La Hiedra and Laredo Kid have done it. Lola, Mr. Iguana have fallen. Oh, we just saw the drone go past. Ah. New champs. Well, how do you score that? I don't know. What number would you give that? Score that. Yes, sir. Ah, Lola's crying. Lola is crying. I'll tell you what, the referee should be crying. Dominik and El Grande taking on Daga and question mark. Norm said it was a fun match still. Spawning Boy said, I like La Hiedra. What do we think about Reina Volcan's finisher? I think it's pretty lame. I think, and would look bad on the main roster. I wasn't really blown away by her debut, to be honest. I thought that they gave Skylar Ray way too much offense. So I think that, you know, Reina Volcan is meant to be this monster. You're doing big vignettes for her. I wanted to see her come in and, you know, dominate and send a message. And I don't know. I don't really get the booking. Don't really get why you would kind of book her that way. Finishing move. I can't remember. Was it a torture rack on her shoulders, kind of doing that type of a job? If it is, if I'm remembering correctly, then it's... I mean, no one's doing it. That's a positive. It's all right. I don't love it. I don't hate it. No one else is doing it. That's, you know, a thumbs up. I think we got a lot of splashes, moonsaults, things along those lines. So, torture rack type thing. I don't think any of the guys are doing it either. So, unique in that regard. But maybe it doesn't really stand out. But to be honest with you, you don't need a move that's really flashy. You just need any move to be kind of sold as being a problem. I mean, Jake the Snake's finisher was a DDT, and it was so over. People would take DDT signs to the shows, because if you got hit with the DDT, you're done. It's over. And, you know, Jake was obviously the master at just hitting it out of nowhere. I suppose it was the RKO of its day. But now you see DDTs all the time. So I don't think it really matters if the move is like really eye-catchy and all that sort of stuff. it matters more if it's protected and, you know, the fans know that it's a problem if you get put in it. And that then, you know, gets the reaction. So, yeah, it's fine. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I was just a bit surprised she didn't get more offense in. My guess for the partner is Bronco Nima. He would make the most sense. Well, of all the options, he would, unless they are bringing someone new into the group. I don't really understand the mystery angle here. I mean, if it's Bronco, then okay, fine. Why don't you just tell me? Is this just like a way of getting people to tune in to see what the mystery's going to be? I don't know. They said it's going to be someone from Perros del Mal, most likely Bronco. But why make it a surprise unless it's a new member? Well, yeah, if it's a new member, then that would explain it. Days were at a commercial break. Yeah, I've just got a graphic for WWE Shop on screen right now. The ref was confused because that team actually won, says Faith. There's not much point in having finishers these days, said Shining Wizards. Come on, Shining Wizards, you've got to have finishers. Otherwise, what are people going to keep kicking out of? You've got to have finishers. You just want people to kick out of just normal moves. I mean, the days of finishers actually finishing, putting people away. Certainly at the first time of asking, they appear to be gone. But joking aside, I agree. It is frustrating. I miss those days of, you know, doing a whole match and then bang, someone hits their finisher and, you know, that's it. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to find out this flipping announcement. I got interrupted earlier by Dorian, but truthfully, I did want to share that when I accepted this job, I made a promise that Lucha Libre would get its proper exposure to the world. And this exposure signifies more opportunities for our luchadors, more visibility, the chance to become a global superstar. Okay. Come on, Ray, get to it. You got interrupted last time. Get to it. This is my goal, okay? Speaking of luchadors who are now global superstars. Yeah. Oh my God, now someone's phoned him. Jesus Christ, Ray, when will you learn? I got a message from Penta. I'm proud to announce he'll be present on August 15th. Laredo had the opportunity to wrestle in Madison Square Garden, taking on Trick Willie. So the announcement is Penta is coming. And speaking of opportunities, I joined Mr. Iguana at San Diego Comic-Con. Oh, good for you. Didn't show off any new WWE Superstar figures, did you? No, just some AAA figures. AAA. I'm here to let our Mexican fans know, AAA Superstars, this is just the start. He talks more than me. Galano and Wagner Jr. are going to be in a match. Oh my God, now he's talking. Ray Phoenix against Mini Vikingo. That will be a banger, actually. Hope you found all that information enjoyable. Okay. People are saying they want a La Hydra figure. Perps. Daze, do you see Dominik turning on El Grande, ended up being the leader of Perez Del Mal? He was acting weird in the backstage segment. I don't think he'll be the leader. I don't think he'll be the leader of that group. Yeah, he absolutely can. He's a heel. I mean, yeah. Do I expect him to? Do I expect these two to coexist? No. No. Is it gonna be related to Perez Del Mal? I don't know. Dominik's already in Judgment Day. So Angel's here. So is that our answer? That's our answer. It's going to be Angel. Okay. It's Angel. I mean, I don't really know what to say. I'm a bit, like, surprised. Is it a problem? Not really. Not really. Okay, Dirty Dom and El Grande. Angel's the mystery. Our mystery's just not even surprises anymore. Well, I mean, look, it's our own fault. We forgot, didn't we, that WWE had took over AAA. And I think if we for 1 second had remembered that, we would have been like, shouldn't fall for this mystery thing. We shouldn't fall for this mystery thing. But I don't know. AAA has been so good that you just sort of go, nah, this will be good. But listen, WWE is in there. Yeah. AAA might be a very good promotion, but it can't escape still being connected to WWE sometimes. Here's El Grande. Oh my God, look at that kid jumping for joy. A hero's welcome. El Grande Americano making his way down. Ole! Ole! Look at that. Is that a man? A kid? No, it's a kid. It's a kid in an El Grande mask. I'm surprised he hasn't changed his name to El Grande Mexicano. It's funny, isn't it, how the Mexican people absolutely love him. Ray said Dominik grew up watching this group. He knows what they're like. El Grande always gets a huge pop, says Edwards. Raw want their writers back, said Shining Wizards. Angel's good in ring, but Bronco would have made more sense. Especially because they're against Dom and El Grande, said Matteo. Steve said AAA is usually so good, but this show has definitely been lower quality. Maybe because we didn't get that triple threat. Hopefully this match will be good. I do think that's caused a lot of disruption because we started the show off with a, I mean, it could have been an email. You know, it was a nothing segment, really. And you're kind of like, 20 minutes in, and this is all we've done. And then you do get to a match, and it's a good match, but obviously, unfortunately, you've got that ref botch, which obviously takes a bit of focus away, as people were kind of talking about that. Outside of that, the action was good. And now here we are, main event. I mean, it's 3:47 in the morning here, about 10 to 4 in the morning. So, I don't know, what we got? About 12 minutes. It might be enough time. Dominik has made his way down to the ring, by the way, and we're going to end the poll because we've given it enough time. So, the first match you lot said was good 96. I don't think that's unfair. High end good, low end great. I would have been fine with either. Okay, let's see what this has got for us, shall we? This is our main event this week. Bell has sounded. We are underway. El Grande, Dirty Dom, can they coexist? Nope. No is going to be the answer. Daga is a savage. He's got that strong style. He likes to go. Booze ringing out for Daga. So at the moment, we've got... just checking where the crowd are. Dirty Dom getting a few... Oh, duck underneath. Shot coming in there by Dirty Dom. Over against the ropes. Over the other side. Nice work round the back. Couple of elbows coming in. Back elbow there by Dirty Dom. Daga in control. Bang. Okay, Dirty Dom over in the corner. Daga is in control. Chop coming in. Daga's got Dirty Dom over the other side. Charges after him. Another chop coming in. Dirty Dom really feeling this. Against the ropes. Over the other sides. Looking for a drop kick. Gets it. Down goes Daga. Dirty Dom is... making a tag. Tag mates. In comes El Grande. Big cheer. Against the ropes. Takes him down. Elbow. Good work. Coming over and grabbing Daga. So El Grande is in. Daga in the corner. Big shots coming in. Big boots coming in. Some of these strikes being thrown with real ferocity. El Grande all fired up. Bringing some much needed energy here. Daga has been enjoying the early stages of this one. But El Grande coming in. And there was a rake of the eyes. And that's kind of swung things back. In favor of Daga. Daga has got a big smile on his face. Over against the ropes. No joy. Takes him over. Nice work. Against the ropes again. Big boot. Daga goes down. 2. Shoulder up. Daga getting his shoulder up. El Grande coming over. I think Dom is going to walk and he's going to leave Grande to the Wolves. Perros del Mal. Also, Ray is a legend, but a rubbish GM. He's got 0 authority, said TJF. He also doesn't get to his point very quick, does he? is like me, just waffles, king of waffling. The only difference is I've got plenty of time to fill, whereas, come on, get to the point, Ray. 1, 2, kick out. 50 minutes in, and I've only now just realised that I was watching it on the AAA channel instead of the WWE channel, and I was wondering why there wasn't any English, said Riley. That'll be it, buds. That'll be it. Big boot coming in there by Angel. Angel in there with El Grande. El Grande being backed over into the corner. Angel looking for a big chop. El Grande over the other sides. Looking to throw these shots down. Bang. And again. Angel looking out at the crowds as he's throwing down some punches in bunches. Got 7 minutes left to go here, that's all. El Grande throwing out some shots. Angel throwing down some shots of his own. These two exchanging blows. Again, shots coming in. Bit of a wobbly leg. Down he goes over the other sides. Oh, Daga grabbing the leg there of El Grande. El Grande managing to just get out the way. Tag being made. In comes Dirty Dom. Back elbow there by Dom. Clothesline there by Dom. It's all over him right now. Right now, Angel on his knees, begging and pleading. Gets up, punches Dom right in the face. He out-dirted Dirty Dom, says JBL. That's a great line. He out-dirted Dirty Dom. Nice drop kick right into the back of the head there by Daga. Daga again going out, choking out Dirty Dom, looking for the cover. Dom managing to kick out. Dom in big trouble here, you know. Dom in big trouble. Chop being made there by Daga. Over the other side, drop kick. Going for a cover. 1, 2, kick out by Dirty Dom. It's being grabbed, being dragged over. Kicks coming in. Dom in the wrong part of town. Stomping away. Dom getting murked at the moment. Dirty Dom right over the other sides of the ring. El Grande trying to get over, desperately trying to help, but no joy. It's good teamwork by Daga and Angel. Things getting a little bit out of hand here. Can they coexist? Well, this certainly ain't helping. Crowd are making some noise here, you know. Crowd are into this. Dom over in the corner. Since WWE took over AAA, their high flying hasn't been the same. It's been watered down, said Opala. Come on, Dirty Dom, said Wrestle Rants. Jeremy said, I'd love to see Dom turn on El Grande. Okay, Dom finding a way back in. He's trying to reach over to El Grande, who's on the edge of the ring. Dirty Dom trying to crawl his way over. He's trying to make his way over. No joy at the moment. Trying to get there. Tag made, tag made. In come both guys. Shot coming in there by El Grande. And again, throwing in some big shots. Stuck underneath. Against the ropes. Over the top. Big back body drop. Charging over. Shot. Oh, chop coming in there by El Grande. Into a clothesline. El Grande on that middle row. Going up and over. Double blockbuster. Double blockbuster there by El Grande. Hot tag mates. 1, 2. Kick out there by Daga. Double blockbuster was nice. That was good. Mexican fans making noise. Enjoying what they're seeing. Right now, Daga back up on his feet. Over in the corner. Face first. Tag mates. Dom. Oh, in the corner goes Daga. Dom has managed to get in there with Daga with a shot to the midsection. So El Grande's work is done. He gets out the ring. Daga, though, showboat him. Oh, no joy. Reverse. Boom. Kick to the midsection. Picking him up. Lovely suplex there by Dom. 3 amigos. There's 2 amigos. 1 more amigo on the way. No, it's not actually. He's backing over. Making a tag. El Grande is coming in. Okay. Looking for a suplex. Gets it. Double suplex. Going for a cover. 1, 2. Kick out. Coming back over. Chin lock. Grabbing him by the chin. It's keeping him down. Daga pulling at that mask. He's getting back up to his feet. Shot coming in. Goes over against the ropes. Ludwig. Looking for a suplex. He's got Daga over in the corner. Backslap tag there by Dom. Here we go, superplex. I think, is Daga going to reverse it? No? Superplex, no. Superplex. Dominik's up. Dominik. Big splash. 1, 2. Angel makes the save. Are we going to stream Triple Mania on both nights? I don't know. I mean, I'm interested, but the one night is a Friday night. Now, I don't really get how that's going to work with SmackDown. The other one's a Sunday, so that shouldn't be a problem. Robbie said, Daze Punk's rumoured for Worlds Collide. That's going to take place in Chicago. It's going to go head-to-head with All Out from the same city. Good. Please, Punk being on will make it a bigger deal. Clothesline. Down goes Dom. Do we think Sammy Finn at SummerSlam was done this past week or 2? How do we think about Carmelo missing out? Well, I think it's a shame Carmelo misses out. I don't think it's like something that I'm going to take to the streets with a pitchfork about. But, yeah, I'd rather he be involved than not be involved because I think he's a great talent. In regards to, do I think this match was made recently? I don't know if it was made recently. I mean, I think they probably have known that they wanted to do Punk Cody for the title for a while. So they've probably been trying to figure out what they do with Sammy at SummerSlam. So I don't know that that's been made this week. I think when Sammy was champion, they had a decision to make as to whether they wanted Sammy to be involved in a triple threat and have like CM Punk involved and everything. So maybe they made a finalized decision at that point. 619 by Dom. Down goes Angel. No referee. There is no referee. Right now, there are 0 referees in the ring. The referee getting knocked to the outside. There are no referees. Okay, Dominik's got some a metal plate. He hands it over to El Grande and is like, use this. El Grande's like, no, I don't do those things. Shots coming in. Dom into the ring steps. Into the ring steps. Dom getting picked up here by Bronco. Into the ring posts. Kick coming in there by... Oh, no. Shot coming back. He's got El Grande. Angel. No. Oh, big knee. Big knee. Referee back in to kick out by El Grande. That's good. That's fun. This is good. I'm here for this. I'm here for this. Okay, here is Rayo and Bravo. We haven't seen them in forever. Shots coming in. Kendo sticks. So they've come down to deal with Berto and Bronco. Rayo and Bravo. Oh, battle going on right now. Ring steps being moved out the way. Shot coming in. And again. What's he doing up there? Blimey now. Is he going to jump from all the way up there? Big spot. Huge spot. Massive spot. We got a drone. He's trying to get the fans to cheer even louder. What are they doing underneath? Just waiting. He does jump off. Lands on top of them. Down they go. Kick coming in by El Grande. Bang. El Grande. 1, 2. Ah. Shoulder up there by Angel, is it? Shoulder up by Angel. Crazy, said a wrestling fan. Fans are lapping it up like little kittens. Okay, Rayo, Bravo on the outside of the ring, banging on the edge of the ring, trying to offer some encouragement. Oh, there's Carmen. There is Carmen. She's the only member we haven't seen so far. Carmen making her way slowly down to the ring. Okay, Bronco's back up. Rayo, Bravo trying to deal with him, but he grabs them. They're going through the commentary table. Through the commentary table. So they've been dealt with. Suicide dive there by El Grande. Where's Dom? Where's Dirty Dom gone? Where's Dirty Dom Dom? Charging over. Headbutt there by El Grande. In the ring is Angel. El Grande with that momentum, but big knee there by Angel. 1, 2, kick out. We're carrying on. Picks him up. He's got him up. Bang. 1, 2, kick out. This is an awesome match, said Jeremy. Crowd is going fire, said Shining Wizards. Tag being made. Daga coming in. Drop kick into a German. Going for a cover. 1, 2. Was that even a kick out? Was that a kick out? $2.9. Okay, El Grande in the middle of the ring. I think there's a bit too much aura farming on top, says WrestleRants. Shot coming in there by Daga. Another shot coming in. El Grande stopping Daga, throwing in some shots, going over the corner, laying into Angel, going back to Daga, going back to Angel, going back to Daga. What's Carmen doing? Is she just watching? Double clothesline. There's Dom. Where's Carmen gone? You've always got to keep an eye on Carmen. Don't take your eyes off Carmen. Okay, El Grande goes for the tag, and Dominik moves out the way. You son of a... Dominik's done. He's had enough. Guys, it turns out they couldn't coexist. Oh, God. Jesus Christ. I don't know where... Oh, she's round there. Okay, Daga in the ring. Dominik's the best, said Shaquem. We have managed to go overtime on a 2-match show, said Steve. Okay. JBL said, I don't know how this is going to end, but I know it ain't ending well. El Grande, getting murked. Murky murked. 41 minutes, said William. Okay, Angel. Stomp. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Dirty Dom. What are you going to do? Hey. Ray said this match was incredible. Why? Okay, Carmen's in there with the other members of the group. They live in chaos. They thrive in chaos. They are chaos. Okay, Dirty Dom is backing away. The drone shot look amazing, said Wrestle-Rants. Carl said, I'm surprised that El Grande's girlfriend didn't show. Omos is coming out. So Omos, is he with Dominik now? Yeah. Omos is with Dominik. I don't hate that. I do not hate that. That is trouble. Trouble, trouble, that's me. Cherry lips and a bucket of iced tea. No! Well, there we go. Bombshell at the end. Omos is with Dirty Dominik. Dirty Dominik. Oh. Get your thoughts in for that main event. Get your scores in. Daze, I'm confused. Wasn't the whole reason that Dominik joined El Grande because Dominik knew that Pedos Del Mal would eventually come for him since they wanted to take over? Yeah, but also it gets a bit hard, doesn't it, sometimes? Not in a sexy way. And you're just like, can't bother with this. It's too much effort. And so it's easy to quit, isn't it? So you just do that. Plus also, he's got Omos now. So, solved his problem that way, hasn't he? He's gone and got himself a Nigerian giant. something I think we could all do with at times. So he's decided that he don't need this smoke. Omos in Judgment Day said, Wrestle with Andy. I don't know how much these cross over, to be honest. I mean, this Peros Del Mal has not really been showing up in NXT. So I don't know that this means that he's in Judgment Day. It's probably just a AAA thing. It's probably just a AAA thing. But well, I don't hate that as an update. I think it's pretty fun. I love them putting Omos with Dirty Dom, says King Melho. Justin said the ending payoff to earlier them saying Ray would really pay, push this to an all-time for me, said Justin. Shaquem said the ending was 10 out of 10. Dominik has joined the Dorian team, says Carl. IFAL said someone tell Triple H to take notes from Undertaker. Do we think Omos could beat Dominik for the title if he betrayed him? Yeah. Yeah, of course. I mean, Dominik might have something up his sleeve. There's always, he might reach out and get some support. But if it was a one-on-one proper match, yeah, he could chuck him around, murk him, make him humble. Word Life Cena fan said, Daze, was Ray wearing a Chelsea green belt buckle? I didn't see. I enjoyed the ending, says Garrett. Rapture said, do we think Omos... Oh, we read that one. Carr said, next week should be fire and week 3 is going to be fire. Opala, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, lots of positivity around. Lots of positivity. People really appreciative of AAA, as always. I don't think that's a show that anyone's going to be looking at and hating. I think you're either going to have enjoyed it, thought that it was fun, or you're going to have loved it. And, that's the great thing about AAA, isn't it? Is that you can tune in safe in the knowledge that you're not wasting your time. Maybe a bit of a rocky start, but as we said, we've let them off because we know there was a triple threat that got cancelled. So, filler. But, I thought the 2 matches we had were very good. The middle one was good. It's just a shame we have that ref botch, which is a bit weird. But whatever. I know it's going to be a talking point, a bit of a big talking point, but you take that away, the action was still really good. And main event, it was all action, go, go, go. Some high spots in there. I like the twist with Omos at the end. Yeah, good. And it seems like there's a lot of positivity in the chat about it as well. So good. Rapture said, if I had a nickel for how many people in WWE had the name Dorian, I'd have about 2, which isn't much, but it is more than I thought, said Rapturous. Thank you. Princess said it's got all time for a Dom Omos collaboration. Sunny, shout out to you. Yeah, so lots of good vibes, lots of positivity, and long may that continue. So don't forget, we are back tomorrow. We're going to be back tomorrow with SummerSlam 2009. They're showing it on WWE Vault, so we're not just randomly watching it. You can actually watch it on YouTube. They're showing it as if it was live on YouTube on the Vault channel. So we're going to do a watch along for that. So if you're around, come and join us. Obviously, next week, a big week as we head towards SummerSlam. But I'm going to wrap things up there because I want to grab something to eat. I've got so much stuff that needs to be tidied up here. This is probably going to take hours. And I'd like to try and get some sort of SummerSlam predictions thing recorded. Ideally, get that out tomorrow. So I've got a busy night ahead. So lovely. I enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed it. Enjoy the rest of your evenings. And I will see you again next time. Bye for now.